right, everybody, you know where you are. You're where you always are every Tuesday night on the Lights Out Sports Podcast. Myself, Mike Valentine, and there is my buddy Cheese, who's twerking in his chair over there. I don't know what he's doing, but okay. Cheese, how you been, buddy?
I'm twerking in my chair, apparently.
Yeah, apparently you were. It's what you
Uh,
look like you were doing.
yeah, I was just getting comfortable, and I was gonna repost the stream on X. That's what I was doing, and adjusting my seat.
All
So I'm
right.
good. How are
I'm sorry
you?
for interrupting you, sir.
Oh, it's okay. You're allowed to on a podcast when there's two people. That's kind of what happens.
It's kind of what happens. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good, buddy. We have got a lot to get to today. Football, a little, and a lot of baseball. We're going to do our predictions today. All kinds of them, not just a few things, all kinds of stuff. We'll do it here in just a little bit. We're going to do such things as picking every division winner. Then we're going to take it down to the teams that make the playoffs, whether it's winning those divisions or in the wild card spots. We're actually going to give you both ALCS teams and NLCS teams. We're going to predict the winner of each division. And then we're not just going to stop there. We're going to give you and tell you who will be the World Series champion. We'll do Rookie of the Year, Manager of the Year in each league, the Platinum Gold Glove winners. We'll do the Cy Youngs, the MVPs, and everything. We're not skimping out on a darn thing on these predictions. We're doing some NFL in between. We'll do some other baseball questions, including are the Dodgers ruining baseball? And we'll talk about PCA and the Cubs. There's some breaking news on that we'll get to here in just a moment. And we will answer, how do you build a successful bullpen? We'll do all of that. But first, Cheese, we got to give you the 5 Flamin' 5 in 5.
I was hoping you forgot about it this time.
Oh, no. We gotta put you to the fire, sir.
Okay.
All right. So for those of you who are first-time people, which we love, let's explain the 5 Flamin' 5 in 5. Cheese.
Yes.
5 questions, 5 minutes. And if he can answer all 5 questions in those 5 minutes, then he'll get a bonus question that he has no idea about. I changed it up a little bit today. I want to see how it goes. I'm going to admit it, I gave Cheese all 5 questions. Don't tell him.
Don't tell them. Okay.
I will. I gave him the 5 questions, but the bonus question I did not give him. And Cheese, that has to do with opening night, not opening day, opening night. So if you get all 5 of the questions, we'll ask you a question about opening night. So, Cheese.
Yes.
Are you ready?
No, I am. Yeah, because I have the questions.
Okay. All right, buddy. The 5-minute timer will begin after I finish reading the first question. I should mix them up so it messes with you a little bit. All right, here we go. We got 2 Major League Baseball candidates for Resurgent Player of the Year, at least in my opinion. Nolan Arenado, who has hit 1.567 OPS, which is equal to 268 weighted runs created. Plus, we know he's not going to do that in the regular season, but wow, what a spring. And Andrew McCutchen, who batted .421 with a 1.297 OPS and only 19 at-bats and 8 games. So, Cheese, my question is, which one has the better chance of being that resurgent player of the year?
So what you're saying is you don't think Nolan Arenado will be 168% better than league average? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't.
You do not. Okay. Yeah. I mean, spring training stats, we've seen this in the past. Sometimes, a player gets off to a great start and, produces throughout the year. Other times it's just spring training, weather's warm. So I take these stats with a grain of salt. Both players, toward the end of their career. But the answer is Nolan Arenado, I think, for sure. I think it just has not gone well with the Cardinals last few years. He's in a better ballpark. He's with a better team. He just seemed to want that trade. You know, he had a no trade clause. He didn't want to go to Houston when he was traded last year. So I think Nolan Arenado has a better chance. And Andrew McCutchen, I'm surprised he's still playing. It's great that he made the Rangers, but I honestly was surprised he's still in baseball. So yeah, I think Arenado for sure.
All right. So I wanted to for some reason, if I start the music when you're talking, it messes everything up. So I didn't want to do it that way. We'll make sure.
Okay.
Here's question 2 for you, buddy. The NFL draft is in 29 days. It's fast approaching. This year, teams will only have 8 minutes to make their picks instead of 10. 2 questions, actually. Is it a big deal, and will it hamper draft day trades?
I don't think so. Probably not. Obviously, 2 minutes is a big difference. 8 and 10, it's a big difference. But I just think teams are going to, knowing that it's gone down from 10 to 8, they're going to call teams during the week of the draft more. Are you looking to move down? Are you looking to move up? What it will hurt is the last minute deals where someone crazy falls, someone that you don't expect. Like say you're Arizona picking, they might have the first pick of the second round. They pick him pretty high in the second round. Say somebody that you have a top 10 grade on falls to pick 26. Well, you're calling. So maybe here are the last minute ones. You have less time because in a draft, you have to fax to the league office the exact same thing for a trade to work. And if it's not the exact same thing, they reject it. So for the most part, no, but only the last minute crazy trades, yes.
Okay. I like it. So, you said crazy like 4 times. That's not near as many times as you said crazy on your mock draft video you sent out yesterday. So
we'll talk about the NFL segment. I'm going to bring that up in the NFL segment, but go ahead.
All right.
I'm running out of time.
I'm giving you the first pick in the NFL fantasy draft. Who you choosing, Cheese?
NFL?
MLB. Sorry. Don't rush me.
If Shohei Ohtani is just a hitter or just a pitcher, I'm taking Aaron Judge. If Shohei Ohtani counts as both, I'm taking him. Simple. Judge, bat, Ohtani second.
Okay. When a player is scheduled for a top 30 visit, does it really mean anything to either the player or the team?
Well, it's not like you're recruiting because you have to be drafted. I think players really like it. They want to visit the facility as long as there's not too many. You don't want to go on 14 visits and all you're doing is traveling for the last month before the draft. But I think it's about 2 things. One, getting to know the person. Maybe there's a slight character concern, and maybe we can do a medical recheck. Maybe we can put him through a physical. We want to make sure that knee's okay. Like Will Johnson, Cardinal cornerback, second round pick. He's someone I would have brought in. I want to know you're healthy. You had injury issues at Michigan. So I think it's more about getting to know a person or medical recheck or both. Okay.
Last question, buddy. Last season, Travis Kelce had 851 yards on 76 receptions and 106 targets with only 5 touchdowns.
Yes.
He and the Kansas City Chiefs have supposedly, I didn't see it announced officially by the Chiefs, but they have agreed to a 3-year, $54 million plus deal. If you're the GM in Kansas City, are you signing Travis Kelce $54 million for 3 years?
Not at all. I don't understand this at all. I don't know what to say. The only thing I can think of is it's super backloaded, and they didn't have the cap room this year to give him the 1-year deal he wanted. So we'll just give him a 3-year deal. He'll probably retire, but they'll probably, if he retires after 1 year, probably take a huge cap hit next year. So I think it's just spreading out the total cap hit and not taking a big hit this year. See.
All right, excellent. And you had a few seconds to go. Okay, so let's give you the question for your bonus question that you don't know what's coming. I'm glad you knew what was coming because on the last one, you were like, I don't know what to say. I don't think I've ever heard you say that. You knew what the question was. Excuse me. All right, Netflix, as you know, is broadcasting the 2026 opening night. It'll be tomorrow night, Giants hosting the Yankees. 61-year-old Barry Bonds is coming out of retirement to be on the Netflix broadcast. He will do pre-game and post-game.
Wow.
Does that make you want to watch the show even more, or does that make you not want to tune into the show?
Probably more of the second one. He's such an arrogant POS. I just he's so unlikable. He cheated. I did not even know that. I I don't like that it's on Netflix. Then you have to have Netflix subscription just to see it.
Yes.
That's
Yes, you do.
ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Home Run
And
Derby is going to be the same way.
well, I don't watch Home Run Derby anyway. So when Sosa McGuire did, I know that sounds. We talked about cheating, but that was entertaining. But no, I'm probably not going to tune in, to be honest with you.
All right, so just so everybody knows, and we're going to throw it all out here real quick. And I got one more partial question for you here. So it's going to be L. Duncan, Albert Pujols, and Barry Bonds will be the pre and post game. And then the actual commentators will be Matt Vasgersian from MLB Network, along with Hunter Pence and CC Sabathia. What do you think about those three on the call?
They bring nothing. They're not going to get me to watch at all. You know, NBC has such a better lineup. NBC's Sunday Night Baseball, their lineup is incredible. Love it. That brings nothing to the table. No one's going to watch for those guys. Someone's like, oh, Hunter Pence is calling the game. I got to watch that. No, absolutely ridiculous. And look, I'll be honest, I don't like the Giants or the Yankees. I don't like either team. So you're not really motivating me to get a Netflix subscription. You're not doing it. So I'm not going to watch that game.
Okay, that's interesting. I will probably watch the game tomorrow just because I'm a junkie, but I'm not saying that Barry Bonds is going to make me watch it. In fact, I probably won't watch the post game. You know how many crazy hours I work. I'll probably be napping like right up until game time, and then I'll get up and watch it real quick. But you know, so
you wake up, or you wake up in the seventh inning.
Maybe. All right, buddy. I just wanted to see there, and of course we got Ramen on the wheels right there with us. Showing us her eyes. Okay.
She's watching. That means she's watching.
You know what that means?
She is watching, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I'm
not just listening.
I'm not on the hip lingo, but you can listen tomorrow because we are on iHeartRadio now. We've got that all worked out. We are on iHeartRadio, we are on Spotify, and we are on Apple Music. So all three of those will be available to all of you tomorrow if you do just the audio only. If that's what you prefer to do, then you can certainly do that. All right. A couple things. Let me hit a couple buttons over here. There we go. I think that's a little better sound quality, and I think that's even better. All right. I didn't hit the buttons beforehand. So we're going to dive into a lot of this stuff here, Cheese. The 5 Flamin' 5 is done. You surpassed it. You got it. Finally. So now I have to ask you this question about baseball. So we're going to do 3 baseball questions here. And then we're going to jump into a couple of football things, and then we're going to go and do our predictions for MLB. So let's start off with a bang here, buddy.
Okay.
Are the Dodgers ruining baseball?
Yes, absolutely. There are even some Dodger fans on X that admit it, but they don't care. Now, I'll say this about the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
They're not breaking any rules. This goes back to the mid-90s when there was a strike and they had an opportunity to have some kind of salary cap or do something like the NBA did. I'll get to that in a second. And really punish teams for spending all this money. The Dodgers don't care. They don't care if their draft pick drops 10 spots. Okay, we don't pick 29, we pick 39. They don't care. They don't care with the luxury tax. They pay hundreds of millions in luxury tax because their revenue is insanely off the charts. They don't care. What if I mentioned the NBA? If you do not know, once you hit tax, you're limited on how much you can spend in free agency. There's a mid-level exception. Okay, maybe another team can spend 10 million. You can only spend 5. Another team can spend 20. You can spend 10. There's limit. There's punishments in the NBA about how much you can spend in free agency. If they had something like that, if you don't have a salary cap, you have to have something like that. And there isn't. And it allows the Dodgers, and the Mets do this too. It's not just the Dodgers. Yankees do it too. To just go out and just when in doubt, have one big hole. We need another outfielder. Let's just go get Kyle Tucker. Just throw money at him. We can throw more money at him than anything, and then we don't have to trade from our farm system to fill that need because we have the money. So our farm system stays one of the best in baseball. So they are taking advantage of the rules now. They're taking advantage of it, but yes, the way they're doing it is absolutely ruining baseball. What do you think, Mike?
Well, let me give you a chart. I have an old man over here has figured out how to do a few things on our streaming service. So let me give you this.
Old man Mike.
I saw.
We have a new nickname, Old Man Mike.
Yeah, Old Man Mike over here. So this is a chart showing you how much ticket prices are for the Dodgers. Can you see this stuff? Right. I don't know if you can see can you see where my mouse is? I don't think you can you?
I can't see the mouse, but I can see everything but the outfield or the home run area. I can't see.
Right. So, right behind home plate, $820 a ticket. Out beyond the third base dugout, $760. In the outfield, $387. That's way up in the top tier of the outfield. I mean, that's absolutely insane. And just to give you a comparison, okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Here's the Oakland A's or
Sacramento
A's, whatever you want to call them, right? Now, I know you can't see the one that's up here at the top for the outfield. The outfield tickets are $30.
And this is opening day only. This is not normal. This is opening day, which they're always more expensive. Yeah.
Correct. $86 behind home plate. Nothing in the triple digits here. Everything, $46 for down the third base line. So I can't fault the Dodgers if they can get the money for it. If crazy people will pay that kind of money, I can't fault them. You know that I just did a whole bunch of spring training stuff. A buddy and I were going to go to the opening day spring training game between the Dodgers and the White Sox because those are the two teams that share that field. And I was like, okay, we'll go. It's the White Sox. It can't be that expensive. They wanted $126 for lawn seats. And I was like, if some idiot is willing to pay that, then I can't fault the Dodgers for taking advantage of them. I mean, are there that many rich people in LA that want to watch baseball that bad?
They have a huge fan base, and they're very good. So maybe, I don't think it's so expensive to live there. I can't imagine, but you got to think there's going to be a lot of Hollywood celebrities, Hollywood executives, going to be a lot, they have the Hollywood crowd, whatever. There's people that live in a bubble, no idea what hard work is actually is, but that, I know it's opening day. It's different, but me and my buddy, we went to Dyken Park. Should be Minute Maid Park. I'm so mad they changed it. In Houston last year, we got last minute tickets and it was 2 for $68 in the section that was $345. That on that chart, that's the area we got, and we got them for $34. So we're talking 10 times the amount between the two of us. Parking, food. We didn't even spend $100 total between the two of us. So that's insane. And there are a lot of people in LA that can't come close to affording to going to opening day. Not even close.
Right. I mean, there's no special pitching matchup. They're playing the Diamondbacks, so it will be Zach Gallen for the Diamondbacks, and it will be Yamamoto for the Dodgers. That's the opening day matchup. The rest of the
World Series MVP. I mean, he was a World Series MVP, so
okay.
He's pretty good.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad pitcher, but I mean, it's not like it's Nolan Ryan or anything out there. I mean,
sure. Or Chuck Norris, R.I.P.
Chuck Norris, God rest his soul.
R.I.P.
I mean, when Chuck Norris goes out there, the mound rises up for him. So, Emmett, the rest of I just come up with that. That's not bad.
It's pretty good. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Emmett Sheehan will be day 2, Tyler Glasnow 3, and then Roki Sasaki will be the next. And then they're saving Ohtani for game 5, which their first 6 games, don't get me started, will be at home. They get Diamondbacks and Guardians do the Dodgers. So
two things. Sasaki has been awful. One of the worst pitchers in spring training.
Yes.
Second thing is when Chuck Norris charges the mound, he kicks the umpire out.
Is that what happens?
Yes.
Okay. I love Chuck. I really do. Loved him.
Absolutely. Everybody loves Chuck Norris.
So, last thing here for the Dodgers, and are they possibly ruining baseball? Let me give you this. The average family of four, if they go to a Dodger game, they buy the cheapest tickets available. Now, this is not opening day ticket prices. These are average, everyday, run-of-the-mill tickets, but they're the cheapest ones available in that stadium. Family of four, cheapest ticket available. When they park, they each get a hot dog. That's 4 hot dogs.
Okay.
2 beers, 1 for each adult, 2 sodas, 1 for each child. You have now racked up a cost for that family of 4 for those items of $413.
You can't afford to take. Most people can't afford to take their families to these games anymore.
I'd never be able, and I honestly wouldn't do it.
No, and kids, I want to go to a game. I want to go to a game. You could, but even so, like you could probably do it once a year. A lot of families of 4. Can you imagine having a family of 5 or 6? You could probably do it one time all year. We pick one time.
Pick one game.
Because you can't do it 3 or 4 times anymore. I used to live in Tennessee, and I was an hour and a half from Atlanta. I used to go to 2 or 3 games a year, no problem. I would not spend $400 on 3 games with everything, not even close to that. Like that's insane. But if there's enough people that will pay that, they're going to charge it.
Yes, they are. Okay, so I'm trying to find it here real fast. I'm scrolling down through, and of course I get distracted by other stuff here. Pete Crow Armstrong. So your Cubs have selected. Yes. Let's see here. Dylan Carlson made the team. Ex-Philly made the team. I can't remember his name right offhand. Shortstop, second base guy.
Scott Kingery.
Scott Kingery. There you go. He made the team.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Pete Crow Armstrong and the Cubs trying to work out a deal. Are you kidding me right now?
Did you lose it?
Wait a minute. Have you seen the Puka Nacua news?
No, but I will try to pull it up. Is there breaking news?
I've got it right here in front of me.
All right, go for it.
There's a woman accusing Rams star wide receiver Puka Nacua of biting her and saying a word that begins with F and rhymes with duck, all the Jews. She claims that he did that with her. There was a dinner party where they were sitting at, like one of those dinner parties where you can, pick your star to sit with or whatever. It's what it sounds like. Oh no.
So I have not seen that anywhere. Is this a good source? Is this like a good person with the?
Hang on, let me go back. Dov.
I don't trust.
No, you're going to say no, not a great source?
I do not trust that guy for anything. I can't stand him. I think I actually have him blocked. I cannot stand him.
Interesting.
Look, most of the stuff he reports is true, but a lot of it, he's
not the only one. There's TMZ saying that. Of course,
okay. All right. No, it's fine. It's probably true. I don't think he's got over. When you have over 100,000 followers, you're not going to make it up. But, yeah, I don't really want to talk about that.
That's okay. I just saw it as I'm going through the timeline here.
I thought he agreed to an extension, like maybe passing Jackson Smith-Njigba's extension or something like that. But I don't.
No.
I'm not getting involved with that.
Okay. All right. That's fine. So
Pete Crow Armstrong. Yes.
Right. Pete Crow Armstrong. Back. So according to Jeff Passan a couple of hours ago, he's reporting that they have agreed to a 6-year, $115 million contract extension that starts in 2017. That runs out in his age 30 season, so that he will then go back on the market at age 31. I know that kind of takes away from the question that we had in the beginning here, because I was asking you some different stuff. So I'm still going to ask you though, because it's not a sure thing. It's just what he's reporting. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad reporter or nothing, but I haven't seen anything from the Cubs or from Pete Crow Armstrong's camp. So until I do, I'm just going to say it's a rumor right at the moment. Excuse me. So if you were the GM of the Chicago Cubs, what would a PCA contract look like to you, knowing that you're a huge fan of them, and I assume you want to keep Pete Crow Armstrong around?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's Jeff Passan. He's not going to report anything that's inaccurate. He knows he's definitely not my favorite reporter, but I did not like how he covered the World Baseball Classic. But 6 years, 115. Yeah, that's not surprising. I was hoping for more like 8 years, 145, 150. Get him locked up for 8 years, But it's one of those that'll help both teams. Look, PCA will make more money the next few years than he would have, and the Cubs get him for 2 extra years beyond when he'd be a free agent. It's one of those that it's good for both players. They actually offered him very similar, like the rumor is, no, not confirmed, 7 years, 66 million last spring training, before he had this breakout, before he finished 9th in MVP voting, before he won the Gold Glove, before he started the All-Star game. They offered 7 years, 66, and the rumor is that his camp wanted closer to 80 to 84 to 90, and the Cubs said no. Boy, they wish they had done that now. But no, this makes sense. I think that's about the compensation as far as per year. I take this with a grain of salt because Bob Nightingale, half the shit he says is bullshit. But he says there's an extra 18 million via escalators in there. But, Bob Nightingale, you can't trust him. But it's possible. It's 50-50 chance. That's correct. So, no, this is great for the Cubs. He is one of the best guys you could have in the locker room. He's always positive, and I'm very happy that he's going to be a Cub. I'm a Braven Cubs fan. If you're new to the channel or new to the pod, and so I'm very happy that he'll be there for the next 6 years.
All right, so let's take a couple seconds and talk about PCA for a second. Last year, as you have already stated some of this, he took a huge step forward with a power perspective. So last season, he hit 31 home runs, had 72 extra base hits, stole 35 bases. Those are pretty good numbers, making him one of only 7 players to go 30-30 last year. That's 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. He also led all outfielders, so defense is important, with 24 outs above average, and he tied for second among center fielders with 15 defensive runs saved. He did kind of stumble at the end of the year, a $188, 237, 295 over his final 200 plate appearances. So he finished the season at basically just slightly above an average hitter, where he went 247, 287, and 481. So that was across 647 plate appearances. He had an awful postseason as well. He only batted a $185 with he didn't have any extra base hits in those 8 postseason games that he was in. He's one of the most aggressive hitters in the league. He swings at almost 60% of the pitches he sees in his career. So no other player who has took 500 plate appearances last year swung more often than he did. So as a result, he walked in 5% or fewer of his career plate appearances, and he's gone down on strikes at an elevated 24% of the time in which he has come to the plate. Then just giving you a little bit of background as far as the timeline and stuff goes. Pete Crow Armstrong is 2 days shy of having 2 full years of service time. You can talk about that if you want, what the Cubs did there. He would have qualified for early arbitration as a Super 2 player next offseason. He was 5 years away from reaching free agency and would have hit the market at age 29. To give you a comparison contract, Jackson Merrill signed a 9-year, $135 million extension with the Padres last spring, and is the top guarantee for a player between 1 and 2 years of service, like what Pete Crow Armstrong did. And Merrill and Armstrong have similar profiles as center fielders. I know I just gave you a bunch of information, but you can pick it apart and speak on any of it that you want, buddy.
Yeah, he had an amazing first half. He's one of the best players in baseball. He was, an MVP candidate. What happened in the second half, he started struggling. And when he started pressing, he started swinging. He did that thing where you decide you're going to swing before the pitch is thrown. I gotta help my team, and so yeah, he started swinging at pitches out of the zone at the actually third highest rate in baseball. He ended up at swinging pitches out of the zone. Unfortunately, Michael Harris was second for the Braves. God, Michael Harris, he's got to fix that. But so I think he pressed in the second half. I don't think it was all they figured him out or anything. I think he went through a struggle for like a couple weeks and then just started pressing and was just trying to pull home runs and just trying to get back to that. In the postseason, he did struggle, but one thing I did like was when he came up, he cut down on the swing a little bit. He wasn't just trying to, like with men in scoring position. He had a really clutch single against I believe it was the Padres in the first round, where he just cut down his swing and just tried to serve the ball in the outfield, and he did. So I think one of the reasons he struggled in the postseason was he was trying not to do too much and took away a little bit maybe from him. Okay. It was small sample size. I don't think he was as bad in the postseason as those numbers, but his leg kick in the preseason looks much less. He's not taking this big leg kick.
Yes. In this spring training, yes.
In spring training, he's probably, his power might not be as good doing that, but at the same time, he's probably going to strike out less. And the big thing with him is plate discipline. Stop swinging pitches out of the zone. You will get yourself out. And he had a very good World Baseball Classic. For a while there, he was carrying the team. So
yes,
I'm very optimistic that he'll hit more like the first half than the second half. More than likely somewhere in between, but he's much better hitter than 188 in the second half.
But I don't understand what the Cubs are doing here, because he's 5 years away from being a free agent anyway, and you're going to sign him to a 6-year contract. I mean, are you just trying to get financial stability and that's it?
So it says here he's 4 years away.
Is he 4? Okay, so maybe I was wrong. Okay,
yeah, it says it eats up 2 years. Yeah, they wouldn't have done it if it just 1 year.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. If it was 1 year, if it was 1 year, it wouldn't have been that big a contract. So yeah, he would have been a free agent at 27 going into 28 season. Now it's 29-30. So, he had 30-30. He's the second Cub ever to have 30 homers and 30 stolen bases, and the only other person to do that was Sammy Sosa. So I love this move. It's no matter what, if he still hits league average, he's a 4 or 5 win player because of his elite defense. He is insane out there in center field. The jumps he gets on balls, you can't teach that. You can't coach that.
Yeah.
Torrey Hunter, that's how good he is out there.
Dare we say maybe Ken Griffey Jr.-esque out there in center field. I mean, he can cover a lot of ground. So here's my final question for you as far as PCA goes. You're not in Dallas.
D for defense, Pete Armstrong.
Okay.
D for defense. There you go.
I was going for the big D and didn't mean Dallas, but okay. Song reference, just like I did. Never mind. On Sunday I did the song reference. I got called an old man by somebody on this panel. So anyway, where would you bat Pete Crow Armstrong? Because he strikes out so much, he can't be your leadoff guy, really, even though he's got so much speed. So where would you put him in the lineup, Cheese?
Can't be your leadoff guy because he doesn't get on base enough either. So where would I hit him? 5th or 6th? Because he gets extra base hits and he can hit guys in. So I would hit him 5th or 6th. He's not going to hit 1 through 4. He's just not, because they have a very good 1 through 4. But depending on the righty lefty matchup, because he's a left-hand hitter, I would hit him probably 5th or 6th in the lineup.
Okay. All right. So we talked about Pete Crow Armstrong. The last thing I want to get to here is, how do you build a successful bullpen? You probably saw me looking around. I'm looking for my phone because I got to get ready with the question here. So, Cheese, just a few questions on a bullpen here, because we're looking at building a successful bullpen. I'll tell you exactly why when we do the poll question here in a moment, what brought this to my attention. So can you have a successful bullpen without an established closer?
Unlikely. Established. The key word is established.
Correct.
Obviously, you want to have an established closer going into the season. Being a closer is so tough. There have been some really good pitchers with elite stuff that miss bats like crazy. And when they put into the closer role, they're terrible. You are literally, you're up 3-2, 4-3, have to get 3 outs. Say you walk the leadoff guy, you give up a single. All of a sudden the pressure's on. You can't give up a homer, you lose. Like, it's so much pressure on a closer. So some guys just don't have the mental toughness to do it.
Mhm.
Kyle Farnsworth is a perfect example of someone who had elite stuff. He wasn't even a good setup man. He just, whenever a game was on the line, he would be terrible. When it wasn't, he was like the best reliever in baseball.
Yeah.
So I want to establish culture. I think it's so important. If you have some young guys that have great stuff that, yeah, maybe they work out, but it's an unknown. So to answer your question, yes, I think you really need an established closer.
All right, so let's take it a step back from there. Can you have a successful bullpen without having a reliable setup man that you would trust as your closer in a pinch?
No, because pitchers do not go 8 innings anymore. They go 6. I think the average pitcher goes like 5 1/3, 5 2/3, but even the good ones go 7 at most. Every once in a while they go more, but yeah, you got to have that setup guy that can also fill. You're right. You need a guy that can be in the 8th inning, that's your setup guy you can trust, but also fill in closer if it's needed.
It's so important. Closer can't go back to back to back or whatever like that, right? You can't.
Or if they get hurt.
We don't want to wish that on any team, even the ones I don't like. I don't want to wish that on any team. Let me give you the poll question here. We'll get to it in just a second. Okay. So how many left-handed pitchers do you need for a successful bullpen? Again, I'll get to why all this happened here in a few moments. You can say 2, 3, 1, or you don't need a lefty in the bullpen. And those are your choices. So 2, 3, 1, and you don't need any left-handers in the bullpen. Let's continue with our bullpen conversation here. We got a couple more questions. Can you have a successful bullpen without the rest of your bullpen having defined roles, like the 7th inning guy, or he's the low leverage guy and he's the high leverage guy, or here's the long man? Or I guess I know for myself, Cheese, when I go to work every day, mm-hmm. I pretty much know what I'm going to do before I get there, and I can prepare myself for the role in which I'm going to have for the day, and I like that. Do you think you can have a successful bullpen without having those rules in place and everybody just shows up and whatever role I want you to do, that's what you're going to do for the day?
I've seen it where teams actually do a committee and it still works. You never mm-hmm. know. Like they'll use a guy in the 5th inning one game, maybe the 8th the next. I think it can work, but most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's better to know your role, to everyone have the role on the team, knowing, okay, if the game gets there, okay, this guy, he can go 2 innings if we need him, 5th or 6th inning if the starter doesn't go. Mm-hmm. This guy's coming the 7th. This guy's coming the 8th. You know your role. That's ideal. That's what you want. Once again, I've seen bullpens that have just not had the roles. It's been a disaster. I think it can work, but most of the time, no. So probably, ideally, with a bullpen, you want depth. You want 3 or 4 guys that can pitch a 7th or 8th inning. You want 2 guys that can close, and you basically you don't want any middle relief. Everyone can set up, or maybe one long guy and everyone else can pitch 7th, 8th inning, and maybe 2 guys can close. That's ideal. You want depth in the bullpen. Right. So I think a role is important, and the bullpen is it's there's so many teams that have good starting pitching and a good lineup. They just don't have a good bullpen, and they don't, and they win 78, 79 games because the bullpen just keeps blowing leads. So it's bullpen with starters going fewer and fewer innings is more important than ever.
Yes, absolutely. I thought when the Kansas City Royals won the World Series a few years ago with their bullpen, that it would change the culture, but it just didn't.
11 years ago.
Was it 11? That many?
It was 11 years ago.
Wow. Dang, man, making me feel old, Cheese. Thanks, buddy.
Do you remember who the MVP was?
Salvador Perez?
I didn't remember either. I have to look it up.
Okay.
It was. That was correct.
I thought you had it. I was going to say that would be
my guess. I was curious. So good call. You got it.
How many left-handers do you need in a successful bullpen? And here's why I asked, Cheese. I'm going to give you the spectrum here. The Nationals, I know it's the Nationals, but the Nationals have 3 left-handers in their bullpen.
Okay.
The Diamondbacks have 0 lefties in their bullpen. So that's why I asked the question, do you need 2? Do you want 3? Can you get by with 1? Or would you say you don't need anybody as long as they're a bunch of good pitchers? Who cares if they're right or left?
So a couple things here.
Mm-hmm.
One, the Nationals have 3, but I mean, are they any good? Their bullpen, I looked at their bullpen, knowing this question was coming. Oof, I heard of one of them. I've heard of one of them. I don't know who these guys are. They might be terrible. So
the Nationals,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have 3 lefties if they're terrible pitchers. I'll say that. As long as they're good. Here's why I don't want 0. Here's why I'm a little worried about Diamondbacks. Say, hypothetically, you have a team where, okay, say the Diamondbacks throw a lefty starter out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Eduardo Rodriguez starts out there, right?
Okay.
And so you're like, okay, so they put a righty out there. Maybe he's a bad defensive player, but he can hit. So you put him there against a lefty, and then Rodriguez leaves after 5 innings. Well, even if his spot's in the lineup or not, you can just take him out. If you know that there's no other lefty in the bullpen, you can take him out and put in a left-handed hitter who's a better fielder. So you can strategize. Okay, they don't have a single lefty in the bullpen. The rest of the game, we're only facing righties. So it gives maybe pre-game, before the game, the manager, can start a lineup based on that.
Yeah.
Having said that, if you have a couple righties that are really good at getting out, like as a splitter, just really good getting out lefties, maybe a cutter, something, then you're okay. But I would, 0. Ideally, you'd want 2 or even 3 if they can miss bats, if they're really good. But even 1, I think, is important. But 0, that's rough.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the strategy is going to be for the season for the Diamondbacks because they don't have any lefties in their bullpen at all. The poll question, so you don't need any, and 1 both got 10%. 3 was next with 30%. And of course, I think, as most people would say, 2 was probably ideal, and 2 got 50% of the votes. So
that's what I voted for, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's how it all shook out there on the Lights Out Sports Podcast poll question. All right, well, I've got everybody here. Before we skip to the NFL, I want to do a program reminder for you guys. Next week, we will go back to our top 10. We're doing predictions this week, so we didn't want to do predictions and a top 10, kind of mixing all that together. Next week, Cheese and I will tell you who our top 10 first basemen are. So we'll get to that next week. Cheese, NFL time, buddy. I know you did this one question, and then I kind of added another one. So do you want to take the first one, or do you want to do the second question first?
No, let's do the rule change first.
Okay, do the rule change, buddy. Go ahead.
So the Browns, they introduced a new rule. It would allow teams to trade draft picks up to 5 years in the future. Currently, you can trade. You cannot trade more than 3 years in the future. So if you trade for some franchise quarterback this year, you can only trade, 2026, 27, 28 drafts. After the draft, you could do 2029, for example, 3 years in the future. To change the rule, you need 24 of the 32 teams to vote yes, or 75%. So once again, only trade 3 years in the future. This will allow you to trade 5 years into the future. So let's go over first. What are the positives of this potential rule change? You want to go first?
Sure. I'm not sure if there are any.
Okay.
You're trading 5 years into the future, right? So
4 or 5, not just 3, 4 or 5. Yeah,
you're right. So up to 5.
Mm-hmm.
You are mortgaging tomorrow for a possible success today. And that bites a lot of teams in the butt. And I don't know. I don't know if the NFL should open that can of worms up or not. Because what stops them from 2 years from now saying 7 years and 8 years and 10 years and so I guess where's the period go?
Yeah,
And
NBA has 7 years right now, but
it,
you
uh-huh.
can't trade your first round pick more than every other year. So every other year you can. So they do 7, but really you can only trade 4 picks, 4 first round picks because it's every other year.
Okay.
Positive, you can push it later. You have more flexibility to make a trade. If somebody wants, um, you know, say you don't want to trade your first round pick that year, okay? You maybe this first round is strong. Maybe you're picking. Maybe the Bengals are picking 10th this year. You like the top 10, but you don't. So okay. But I could. I'm trading for someone amazing, so I could give him 3 first round picks, but I can do it way in the future. We're going to be good. We should be good the next 4 or 5 years. We're loaded, but I can push it in the future years and
Okay.
not hurt myself now. So I think that's the positive. I think, but it's very telling that the Browns are the one proposing it, because what the Browns want to do, this is what they want to do. They want to trade Myles Garrett for the next 4 first-round picks and hope that team stinks, and maybe that team ends up with the first pick or another thing, and they could somehow finally get an Andrew Luck or a Peyton Manning or John Elway or something like that. That's the only. I mean, just the fact that the Browns are the ones who gave up all those picks for Deshaun Watson, the worst trade in NFL history, are the ones proposing it. It just tells me that we can't do it on our own. We need help. We want to trade as much in the future as possible and hope that team just stinks that year. Because maybe 5 years from now, a team that's like really good, like the Rams are really good, right? Maybe in 4 or 5 years, they're the worst team in the NFL. You never know. And if they
Hmm.
trade their first round pick in 2030, maybe that's the first pick. So it's just very telling that it's the Cleveland Browns that did it. All right, so we talked about positives. Give me some negatives on this. We kind of already
Well,
talked about it.
yeah, sort of we have. I mean, like I say, I don't like the idea of mortgaging the future for today. You should be a good enough franchise. And I'm one of these guys. I mean,
Browns.
well, I know, and I'm a Bengals fan. But by the way, they made a signing today, if you haven't seen. So did the Eagles. The Eagles
I
made a
did not.
signing today. We'll talk about both of those here in just a second. Um, so I'm a guy who doesn't. You don't need to go to the Super Bowl for me. I want a consistent team that I can root for every year. I want the Buffalo Bills. I want I'm trying to think of a team, the Baltimore Ravens, right? Where they may not go to they don't get to the AFC Championship game every year, but they're going to have a winning record. They're going to get to the playoffs, and I know that I can consistently root for them. It's not going to be one of those things to where they stink for 4 years, they go to the Super Bowl, and then they stink for 4 years after that. Personally, I don't want that in a team. I won't. I know you probably will. You would take one Super Bowl win and then 4 years of crap and then 4 more years of crap. But I would rather have a consistent team. So I just don't like the idea of mortgaging your future to try to win something right now.
So I think what this will do, we'll just say this. Maybe a team doesn't want to give up a draft pick in the next 2 years. Okay. Maybe like the Philadelphia Eagles, right? George Allen would have loved this. I believe George Allen, didn't he own the Redskins? Or
I
was
believe
GM
so.
there? Okay. So maybe a
Great
team
comment,
like the
by the way.
Eagles. Maybe a team like the Eagles. Okay. We won the Super Bowl last year. We're next 2 years, we're going to be really good. And I want to move up in the draft.
Mhm.
But they're asking for my second or my third round pick next year. But I don't want to give that up. But I'll give you my second in 2029. I think we'll lead to more trades like that. We'll
Okay.
give you a second rounder, but it's in 4 years, 4 or 5 years. We'll give you that but here's why I asked about the negative. Imagine if you're a GM that needs to win, right?
Okay.
You mentioned mortgaging the future.
Hmm.
You need to win. And you have a good team. Maybe you're a team like you said, the Ravens or the Bills that make the postseason. They just can't get to the Super Bowl. And you might get fired. okay, let's go after some really good player at a big position of need. And you can have my 2029, 2030 first round picks, knowing that if you don't win, you're not going to be there anyway. Who cares about those picks? And if that player gets you a Super Bowl, no one's going to give two shits about those two first round picks that year.
That's true.
So yeah, I kind of hadn't thought that far ahead, but you made me think of it when you said mortgage in the future. So yeah, a GM that is not secure in his job is more willing to do this. And guess who's not secure in his job? Guess who has to do something? Andrew Berry of the Cleveland Browns.
What team is proposing this again?
What team is proposing this? So I just, if they do this, I wonder if there'll be restrictions. Like, because basically what a team could do is saying, okay, they could call up, say, the Broncos and say, we'll give you their next 4 first-round picks for Bo Nix. I don't think anyone would do that, but maybe just say they would,
Mm-hmm.
Does the NFL really want that? Do they want 3 or 4 teams to have no first-round picks the next 4 or 5 years? And then the same teams like the Jets and Browns, who both have 2 first-round picks this year, of course they do, to all have all these picks, 2 or 3 first-round picks every year. No, they don't want that.
But that's what this will do, right?
Exactly. This is what we'll do. Some teams are going to want. What if you're a team that, has a franchise quarterback and use a 5th-round pick, another quarterback, and that franchise quarterback gets hurt and this guy is even better, like Trent Green, Kurt Warner situation?
Mm-hmm.
Then you can shop one of them. Like, okay, we'll shop one of them. Give us next 3 or 4 first-round picks, and you're already a good team, and you have all these extra picks. You could be a dynasty. You could win 5 of the next 7 Super Bowls because you have that. There's a lot of factors. This is why I want to talk about this. This is fascinating. It would lead to more trades. It would lead to us on this podcast talking about the NFL even more. Like, there's so many more things to talk about. But at the same time, we could see a lot of teams, like you mentioned, we could see tanking. We could see more teams just tanking for extra picks. Okay, we're not very good. The Dolphins just traded Jalen Waddle, knowing they're not going to win the next couple of years. He's in his prime. Let's see what we can get for him. They got a good offer. Taking it. You could be a team with 3 or 4 really good players, no one else. And we'll just trade them all. And we're going to stink the next few years and just load up on picks, and do the 76ers and the Thunder did it in the NBA. And just be terrible for so many years. But all of a sudden, we're really good because we have all these high picks. That's not good. That's not good for the game. So I don't know what I'd vote for this, to be honest with you. I'm really torn. I think it'd be fun. I think it would help my channel out because my fan channel at Football with Cheese is all about football. At Football with Cheese, CHEZ, shameless plug.
Right, you're right. You snuck that in there like the Browns GM's trying to sneak this in here. Anyway.
It would create more trades. It would create more fun, but it would also create a lot of problems. So I'm guessing you would vote against this.
Yeah, I don't like it. The only way I would vote for it. Again, we know these questions are coming. We usually get about a 24-hour head start on this podcast. The only way I would vote for this is if they guaranteed somewhere in there that 5 is the farthest we're ever going to go. Because I don't want to open up that can of worms. If someone would come to me and say, all right, we'll make some of these trades, because I do get some of what you're saying. I don't want to give you next year's first round pick because I'm teetering on really good. I like your player, but I don't want to get your player at the expense of my first round pick next year, because I want that first round pick too, because I think that's going to push me over the edge. But I'll trade you the first round pick in 4 years for this player that I like right now. Okay, but I don't want to be trading them 7 years down the road or 9 years down the road or something crazy like that. So
give me your 2039 first round pick.
Right. and I also want to throw in the fact, and we've talked about this a couple times on the show before, at least football allows you to trade picks. Major League Baseball does not allow you to trade draft picks, and I can't stand that. So
we will talk about that more.
Either.
We will talk about. Sorry, let me interrupt you. We will talk about that more as we get closer to the baseball draft, because I do want to have that topic, discussion with you. You can trade certain picks, but only a few, and it's just what is it called? when you don't have the revenue as the others, they can trade it. They get these extra picks. There's a term for it.
So they're compensation picks.
Yes, you can trade those, but that's it. And
Right.
And I'll just, we'll not get too into this, but the reason, I think the main reason is the Yankees and Dodgers will trade all their first round picks for current
Yes.
players because they don't care.
And
That's
I'm
what'll
kind
happen.
of setting this up though.
Yeah.
The Rams just did that. I mean, the past 3 or 4 years, the Rams didn't care. They traded their picks away and they wanted players right now. But it did not.
They've had one first round pick the last 8 years.
Right. So
Yeah.
but what did it do for them? You know, yes, they
won a Super Bowl.
Okay, they won a Super Bowl, but I mean,
and they're one of the best teams in the NFL right now.
Right now, they are one of the best teams in the NFL. So that's what I'm asking is, you're trying to go, I don't know if it's good for the game or not. Well, it's good for one team in the game. They played by the rules. They did what you're saying the Dodgers are doing, right? You don't like it, but they still played by the rules.
Yeah, but Les Snead hit on. Yeah, but
so bad.
Yeah, but Les Snead hit on Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams. Like, because he's a good drafting GM, it worked. If you're not, it's not going to work. And his one first round pick over the last 8 years was Jared Verse, and it was an absolute home run. He's an outstanding edge rusher. So if you have to draft well to do that, to go after Jalen Ramsey, go after Matthew Stafford, 2 players they traded for. He drafted Aaron Donald when he had a first round pick, you know, like you have to draft well if you do it. And Les Snead is a very good drafting GM.
Okay, so you're saying no matter what these rule changes are, you're still going to have to be talented in order to get a talented team.
True, but what this will do, if the Browns have 2 or 3 first round picks every year for the next 5 years, it gives them a chance to, you know, they're going to miss on some because it's the Browns, but maybe they hit on half of them and they're actually a pretty good team. They actually make the play. Like, they're good enough. That's basically what it is. It feels like to me the Browns want outs. They don't want to just pick they want an opportunity to have all these extra first round picks, and maybe we hit on a quarterback finally. Maybe we hit on some of these picks, which they hadn't. They had a good draft last year, but before that it was awful. So it just seems like this is Andrew Berry wanting an out. I have no idea if this is going to pass. I have seen no rumors about it. I have no idea. I feel like it could go like 27 votes. I think it like go 7 votes. I have no clue.
It's interesting, though. I really like the topic. It's interesting.
Before we get to the second topic,
did
you see my video on my channel at Football with Cheese on YouTube, by the way? Did you see my video on my mock draft Monday, the crazy edition?
Yes,
and
I mentioned it earlier, remember?
Yes, you did. So you saw who I drafted. Like I said, this is a crazy edition. I was not doing a projection. I was trying to be crazy and think, what if this happened? What if it's chaos? I had the Bengals taking Jeremiah Love,
yes,
running back Notre Dame. What do you think about that?
I would like it if they got Jeremiah Love, to be honest with you, but I don't think he's going to fall down to 10. Now, I really must say, when I saw the how do I want to say this? So you're doing a great job on your channel of giving me a picture in the beginning, and now you even got this little intro where your little helmet bounces in and the football bounces in, and I'm like, oh, look at Cheese.
That's Shauna. Shauna made that.
Okay, I wasn't sure how much credit we were going to give to who here, so I figured I'd let you do that if you wanted to do that. But she's very talented, by the way. Yes. And then you said it was going to be a crazy draft, and I'm like, what does this guy mean by a crazy draft? And then as I started listening to it, the first few I was like, no way, that's not happening. And then
that's the point.
Well, it is kind of the point, but there were some of those trades in there that, as you were talking about them, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that guy. If he does fall that far down, now all of a sudden you're going to make some of these teams decide, do I pick best player on the board or do I pick the need that we have? And then you're right. It could go into absolute chaos.
Yeah.
Because the draft is not scripted this year like it has been in years past. I think the draft in years past, we've been able to kind of script it to where we know, like even the team at 20 is going to take either this guy, or this guy. But once you get past like 8 to 10, I'm not sure who some of these teams in the teens are really going to take.
It's not just that. We kind of know who the top 10 are for the most part. But we don't know the order. I have no idea who the Jets are going to take it to. You could look at 7 mocks from draft analysts and the media out there. You're going to get 4 different people going to the Jets. So I don't know Caleb Downs. I don't know where he's going. Jeremiah Love could go 4th. He could fall to the top 10. Like, I don't know the order. And usually at this point after the combine, usually you kind of know,
right?
For the most part. Sometimes you know, like last year we knew the top 3. We probably knew the top 6. Like the top, I got the top 6 exactly correct in my mock. Maybe not the team because it was a trade, but still, I had the top 6 correct. You kind of know that at least a week or 2 before the draft. This year, and it's so weak at the top, I think we're going to see some guys picked even in the teens, not just the 20s, the teens that people think are second round picks. And I think guys that are mocked 15th, 18th are going to go in the second round. Because I don't think there's much difference. Like where Baltimore's picking at 14, they might take a guy that is 36 on the consensus board because there's not much difference. I think Cincinnati's in a good spot, maybe Miami at 11, but after that, I don't want to be picking later than that because there might be 10 or 11 first-round talents in this draft. I think it's going to be chaotic, and that's why I was thinking about it, why I made the video. And if you do watch that video, there's some people that fall like way further, and just like maybe this could happen either based on positional value because it's not because I have offensive linemen going way higher than they should because people need offensive line. It gets overdrafted. So, but other positions like defensive back may fall. You never know.
Yeah, and they're getting expensive. So why not get the guy in the draft and have him for 4 years and then do your 5th year option and save a lot of money that way instead of paying free agency prices for linemen. So I had 4
offensive linemen in the top 11. That was, but it could happen because they get overdrafted. They were way overdrafted last year as well. So
it should be good. All right. So I said that there were 2 signings today. Let's get to those real quick. So these are the 2 signings that I have seen. If you've seen any more, Cheese, please correct me and let me know. I saw that the Eagles are signing wide receiver Elijah Moore to a 1-year deal. I forgot Elijah Moore is just 25 years old, but this is his 4th team.
Yeah, he sucks.
So you don't like him?
He was very good at Ole Miss. He was a player that was mocked to the Packers more than anyone about 4 or 5 years ago, and fell the second round, and he has just never been good at all. He's just not a good player. He's very talented, so the Eagles taking a flyer on him, but he's not very good.
And then I did see my Bengals made a move today. They signed quarterback Joe Flacco to a 1-year deal, so they've got their quarterback room pretty much put together now. So yes, there you go. No comments on Joe Flacco to the Bengals.
I mean, they need a backup. Yeah, that's fine. And he seemed to like playing there. So, and more than likely he'll have to start at least a few games because the way Burrow is playing, especially if he plays, he's got to stop playing flag football, making those cuts in that video. It's like his ACL's about to tear. Just stop it. Just stop, Joe. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like you cannot. They have no chance if Flacco is the starter for the whole year. They're not winning anything. You cannot get hurt.
Yeah, I think they proved that last year.
Yes, they did.
All right, so we got one more NFL question. Do you want me to do this one or do you want to take it?
Go for it, man. It's your question.
All right, so there are 7 non-quarterback players in the NFL this season who are making $40 million plus. Now that Jackson Smith-Njigba has gotten his contract extension. So, Cheese, I'm going to have you rate these guys. I'm going to give you them in the order of money in which they make, and then you tell me what order you would put them in. So 7 of them making $40 million plus. Here we go. Starting with number 7, the guy who is he's only making $40 million, Myles Garrett.
His family must be living paycheck to paycheck.
Right? They're just, I don't know if they can get groceries this week or not. So help me with the first name. Is it So Hunter, what's Hunter's first name?
I think it's Danielle.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I wasn't. I don't know. It sounds like a girl's name, so I was like, maybe it's not.
He's a good
So
player, though. He's a really good player, though. But yeah, yeah,
okay. So don't tell him his first name sounds like a girl because they'll run you over.
yeah. I mean, there's a defensive tackle I love for the draft. His name is Dominique. So I mean, there's Dominique Orange. So yeah, I don't know why. There's sometimes they have effeminate names.
Well, I mean, you know what? We got Kool-Aid as a cornerback in the NFL. So hey. Anyway,
I mean, that's pretty good. It's cool. It's cool, Aid.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Aid. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So Mr. Hunter's making 40.1 million. The next guy up is Jamar Chase at 40.2. Then you've got TJ Watt at 41 even. You got Jackson Smith and Jigma now with his contract, 42.4 million. The next to the top is Adrian, right?
Aiden.
Always do that. Aiden Hutchinson, 45 million even. And then the number one highest paid non-quarterback position in the NFL this upcoming season, Micah Parsons, $46.5 million. So let's go top to bottom, Cheese. Who is your number one guy? Who makes the most difference on the NFL playing field out of those 7 guys?
Myles Garrett for sure. 40 million. 25 sacks, defensive player of the year. Myles Garrett, 40 million. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Wow. Okay. I really thought you'd go with Parsons. So who's your number 2 guy?
Parsons. Well, I mean, 6 million less a year than Parsons. So you have to go.
Okay. So you're considering the money factor into the whole thing too.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's not, look, difference between 40 and 46 on your cap. It's not much at all, but if it was the same money, I'd probably still go Garrett. But if for example, Garrett was 46, Parsons 40, I might have said Parsons, but yeah, okay. Parsons too.
All right. Myles Garrett. Mr. Parsons is second of your Green Bay Packers. Who's third, Cheese?
Probably Aiden Hutchinson. He was still very good. Just wasn't as good coming off that horrible leg injury. But sometimes it's the year after when you have a bad injury. So I think he'll be better this year. So I'll say Aiden Hutchinson third.
I really want him to get another guy on the other side, by the way, just so we throw that out there.
The Lions won't do it. They won't do it. They'll fix every other hole in the roster. They refuse to get another edge rusher opposite. Aiden Hutchinson has to do it all himself.
Unless you do a crazy draft, and then
my draft, yes.
The Detroit Tigers. Boy, I'm in baseball mode.
We'll get to them in the predictions.
Yes, the Detroit Lions will get one in the crazy draft. But yes. All right. So after Hutchinson, who's after that?
I'm gonna go Jamar Chase at 40.2. I don't like that the wide receiver market went crazy. But he's just so good. He's so special. He wins quickly. He can do it all. So I'll go Jamar Chase.
All right. And then you're going to go Jackson Smith and Jigma, TJ Watt,
JSN.
Or are you going to go Hunter?
JSN. He's always open. You know, it's funny when he was drafted, he was supposed to go 13th overall to the Packers. He was absolutely supposed to. They were high on him. They were going to draft him. They needed a receiver, whatever. I'm still bitter. I don't want to get grumpy. But even so, he went 20th to the Seahawks. He was not supposed to be this good. He was supposed to be a very good player, but he was not supposed to be like one of the best receivers in the game. Like, he is so amazing, and what a playoff run he had. So yeah, JSN.
You know, before we move on, I want to ask you this. You've got all these great Ohio State receivers. Does that do anything for Carnell Tate's draft predictability or anything?
Absolutely. Mecca Egbuka went 19th overall. The knock on him was, he's always played with Jeremiah Smith or Marvin Harrison Jr., so he's always been the number 2 guy. So the best corner never covered him. Tampa Bay's like, we don't care. And before Mike Evans came back, he was their number 1 guy. He was amazing.
In his first year.
Yeah, he wasn't as good down the stretch. I think it just, they almost had too many guys in the room. I don't know. But yeah, it's every single Terry McLaurin, there's so many guys, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson. There's so many guys that come from there. They're always good. And, got to give Brian Hartline such credit. He is the guy coaching these receivers up. He's now the head coach at South Florida, but he was with Ohio State for many years. But absolutely, I think Carnell Tate, he's not my number 1 receiver. He's my number 2 on my rankings, but he's going to be the first receiver off the board. I absolutely think so because of that. I don't think he's as good a prospect as Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave, but Yeah, I think Carnell Tate, it's going to help him a lot, no doubt about it. And Carnell Tate, once again, play with Jeremiah Smith, but it's Ohio State. You how can you not? Every single receiver they have, it's been amazing in the NFL.
Yeah. All right. So you got Garrett, Parsons, Hutchinson. Then you went Chase, and then JSN. We got Watt and Hunter left. Who's next?
Yeah, Watt, hasn't been quite the same the last couple of years. I think he's 31, 32, had a foot injury, but I'm still going with TJ Watt. He's still, when he's healthy and out there, he's very impactful. And Daniel Hunter, he's nothing gets, but he's very good. He's just not on the level of those other guys.
Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. It's about that time. Best graphic in all of baseball. Well, not just baseball, all of podcasting. All right.
All of it.
All of it.
Is it
every single one of them?
The flaming baseball.
Oh yeah. Even the podcasts that we like, and there are several of them out there.
Yes, a lot of good ones.
Yes, there really are.
If you like the Red Hot Reds podcast, Mike did that on Sunday night. I was all over the comments, but
yes,
the Reds on All Gloves Off. What is your YouTube? All Gloves Off social media.
All Gloves Off Sports Media is the YouTube, and you can catch it right there on that. That is correct.
And you can catch Red Hot Reds. So if you are a Cincinnati Reds fan, check out Ricky and Roger do a great job.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, the All Gloves All Sports Media Group, we're going to put a conglomerate of a bunch of podcasts together, like Cheese, like the one we're doing right now, like Red Hot Reds, and we got a few other ones coming down the pike. So tune in to that. And in fact, tonight, I'm glad you had me bring this up because I may have forgotten this before it was all said and done. The video that we're doing right now, live right here, Red Hot. So you got me doing it.
We're Reds now. We're doing a Reds podcast all of a sudden.
We are. Lights Out Sports Podcast right now on YouTube. This is our 500th video on our YouTube channel.
Oh,
so
cool.
Check out all the other 499. It might take you a while, though. All right, guys, here we go. Into our Major League Baseball predictions.
Might take you a while. That's an understatement.
All right, as we say, I just love that graphic in the background. So we're going to do our Major League Baseball predictions right now. This is how we're going to go from now to the end of the show. We're going to do the projections in each division, AL and NL. We're going to do teams that didn't make the playoffs that will this year, and vice versa, ones that did make that won't in both the AL and NL. We not only do each division, but we'll go through the playoffs and give you wild card teams, division teams, the AL, NLCS, and all the way to the World Series champions. And we'll also do some individual awards: Rookie of the Year, Manager of the Year, Platinum Glove Winner of the Year, Cy Young, and MVP. All of those for each league. All right, Cheese. Whew. We got a little bit to get to here, but I'm going to like this, I think. I think our lists are going to be, every time we say our lists are going to be different, they end up being pretty close to the same, so I don't know if I'm going to jinx this or not.
I'm sure they'll be different. They're going to be different.
Okay, they're going to be different. You're going to go with me as well. Okay. So, let's start with the divisions. Let's start with the American League, and let's start out here in my neck of the woods. Let's go American League West. Cheese, who will be the 5th team in the American League West, according to you?
Real quick before we start.
Yes.
It was, for the most part, it's pretty easy to pick the best team and the worst team. 2, 3, 4 was tough for me. That's where I had a lot of trouble with these predictions, the middle part. But I think we're probably going to agree on this. I think the Angels are the worst team by far in the AL West.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't know what Artie Moreno's doing. And I'm gonna
I know what he's doing. He's being terrible. He's just making the team worse. That's what
he's making money is what he's doing. I mean, he's making money, and I think that's all he cares about. But I want to say this: get I'm going to jump on this bandwagon right now. Trade Mike Trout. Give me the best player in the world on a decent team, please.
They could have traded Trout and Ohtani and gotten so much. And the Angels probably have the worst farm system as far as development in baseball. They don't develop farm systems, so they're never going to be good. You have to develop in your farm system, so they're a joke.
That's true. It's hard to be out of the cellar when you don't have a good team and you don't have a good farm system. So that's why the Anaheim Angels, or the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, as they like to be called now.
California Angels.
Yeah. Well, you're going back in the Wayback Machine now. So that's why both of us, myself and Cheese, had the Angels at number 5 in the American League West. Cheese, who's your number 4 team in the American League West?
Once again, 2, 3, 4 is so tough. I'm going to go with the A's. I think 1 through 4 all have a chance to make the playoffs, but I just like the Astros and Rangers a little better. So I'll go A's number 4. They're still young. I think next year is the year for the A's to make the playoffs, but not quite there.
Okay, so I'm going to disagree with you a little bit here. I don't like the trajectory of the Houston Astros.
Ooh.
They're getting older. They just put Arrighetti down in the minors. I was a little surprised at that. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I did.
Starting pitcher. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And I have to say, I'm still, the get off my lawn guy, and I'm still harboring the trash can beating and all that stuff. So anytime I have the ability to put Houston a little lower, I'm just going to do it. I'm just being honest, man.
You're supposed to be a projection, not what you want. It's a projection. Although you'll see Mike's picks, he's gonna be, he's gonna pick some teams he likes a little higher than most people.
Maybe. All right, Cubs and Braves guy. I picked some of your teams a little higher too.
I'm not gonna go crazy on those 2 teams necessarily. We'll see, or at least one of them.
All right. So I've got LA and then Houston. You've got LA and then the A's,
Sacramento,
they're Sacramento or wherever the heck they are. So who's your number 3 team, sir?
I'm going to go with Rangers. Rangers to me could win 75 games or 88, somewhere in between. They won the World Series a few years ago, but it's tough to. I guess it's 3 years now.
Yeah,
they're tough to project. I like the Mackenzie Gore. I like getting him. So I couldn't put him second. I couldn't put him fourth. I'll put him third. All
right, so a 3 for me is the Oakland, here we go. Sacramento A's. I want to get out to see a game in Sacramento, by the way. Just putting that out there. So maybe you guys will see me in Sacramento. Not that you'll care who I am, but yeah.
Okay. You like minor league parks, so I get it.
Yeah. I do actually. So I like this club. I really like where they're going. I wish they had better pitching. If they had better pitching, I'd put them higher. They've got the offense.
Or if they still had Mason Miller, yeah.
No, they don't have Mason Miller anymore.
So. Right. If they still had Mason Miller, I probably would have put him higher.
Yeah. But, yeah, if they had pitching, I'd put them higher. I'd put them at 3. Who's your number 2 team?
Houston Astros. I think Yordan Alvarez, healthy for a whole year, is huge for them. And Hunter Brown repeats what he did. I like the pitcher from Taiwan they signed. Yes, you lose Framber, but I think the Astros had so many injuries last year. If they stay healthy, I like the lineup. So, number 2, I have the Houston Astros.
Okay, so that's where we differ a lot on this list. I have Texas at 2. I like their pitching staff. Their starters are really good, but they're going to have to go a little more because their bullpen's not great. Their offense is coming along. They've got some really nice young players. And I'll tell you what bumped Texas up for me. We talked about him in the Flaming 5-5. What bumped Texas up for me, I think that Andrew McCutchen is upset with how the Pittsburgh Pirates treated him. And now he's going to come into Texas and just tear stuff up. Is he going to start every day? No, he's not. But his leadership and his his presence there on that team is going to take some of these young kids and bring them up a couple steps. It's an interesting interview if you look at what he said about Wyatt Langford. And there's a thing in spring training. I was actually at that game, and he talks about it. If you get a chance to read that interview and you can then see what kind of a difference Kutch is going to make on that team. And I think the difference that he makes bumps them to number 2. So that means we both have Seattle at number 1, right?
Well, Wyatt Langford, I think he could be like one of the big breakout players this year. He's really, really good. I think he could be one of those sneaky, I'm not going to pick him, obviously, the sneaky candidates for MVP, maybe, candidate. Not saying he would win it. Yes, Mariners number 1. They were in the ALCS last year. They are absolutely loaded. They don't have a lot of weaknesses. They're just good at everywhere. So, yeah, Mariners, one of the best teams in baseball.
All right. The AL Central, let's go with this. Who's at the bottom? Is it Chicago like I have at the bottom?
I actually think the Twins are going to be terrible. And I think they're going to be terrible, and then they're probably going to trade Joe Ryan. And so they'll get even worse at the deadline. So I think I don't like this Twins team at all. I was looking at I was just like, this is not a good team.
No, it's not.
I actually think the White Sox will be much improved. Still not good, but I actually have I was going to tell you, I have the Twins 5, White Sox 4. And by far, it's a big drop off from the top 3.
Yes, huge drop off from the top 3. Absolutely. I've just flipped them. I did put Chicago at 5, Minnesota at 4, just because. And you know what? I'm going to put the guy up there. I haven't done it yet. Be watching for my Chicago White Sox guy, who is their minor league guy, and what his name is. I was at the spring training game. He's walking off from striking out, and he got his head down, the bat down, and then it shows his name on the video board behind him. Yeah, it'll be a funny tweet. Just wait, it's coming. So for me, Chicago, Minnesota, I put Cleveland at 3. Who'd you put at 3, Cheese?
I did too. I think there's going to be a little drop off for Cleveland. I just don't. They had a really good year last year. Great second half, won the division, but I just think the other 2 teams above them are just a little bit. I just feel like there might be a little drop off for Cleveland. I just don't know that they didn't do anything to make them any better, in my opinion. They didn't make a big move. Like I just every year we want them to go out and make a big move, and they just don't do it.
Yeah, it's like spend some money, people, and they're just like, nope, we refuse.
Or make a trade, do something, and they just don't.
Well, and they
need more help in that lineup. It's not a great. They need another bat in that lineup. They're not going to go after another big bat. They won't do it.
They need Mike Trout.
Ooh.
Oh.
Snap. Byron Buxton might be available. Who knows?
You know what? That's not a bad thing either. They really, I'm not sure if Trout can give them the same. Well, I know he can't give them the same defense that Byron Buxton can, and they like defense on that team. So you know what? That might be even a better trade as far as Cleveland is concerned. So I put Kansas City at 2 and Detroit 1. Who do you have 2 and 1 in the American League Central, Chiefs?
Yeah, I think Kansas City Royals they're going to be pretty good. I was just looking at, I like their rotation. Yeah, Bobby Witt Jr. is one of the best players in baseball. Vinny Pasquantino. They have a lot of good players. The Royals they're not the sexy team, but they just have a lot of good players. Salvador Perez is still bringing unbelievable. 30 home runs, 100 RBIs last year.
Yeah.
So I got the Royals too. And I think Tigers look excellent on paper. We'll see what happens when the regular season starts. They had a lead last year. They blew it. They obviously, I think they did make the postseason last year, but I think they run away with actually this division. I think they're one of the best teams in the American League.
Oh, they're going to run away. So let me do a couple things here. I want to compare Kansas City in the American League to a National League team. I think a lot of people don't know who Vinny Pasquantino is, and a lot of people don't know. They know Bobby Witt
Reagan,
Jr., I think.
Eric Bubic. Just all kinds of. Like, they have some good starting pitchers.
They have some good players over there that nobody really knows.
Yes.
And I'll compare them to the Milwaukee Brewers because of it. They're like the Brewers of the AL. And we see that every year the Brewers seem to be right there. And they win that division and they sneak in. And so I think Kansas City is a lot like them. But just like you, I put them at number 2 because Detroit has Tarek Skubal. And they've got a lot of up-and-coming young... I'm sorry, sir?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Framber Valdez, they signed in free agency, too.
Very, very true. Justin Verlander now.
Their starting pitching is really good. Oh, they have Casey Mize.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's like the afterthought almost, right? And
Yes.
he would be a number 2, number 3 for any other team.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, I agree with you. I like Detroit's pitching staff. Their bullpen's not fantastic, even though I like Vest.
Well, Vest.
But yes, but they all, the guy that Ricky said he didn't know who he was in the Red Hot Reds. But anyway, so
he's like, I don't watch Tiger games. I'm like, I get it. Your job is to cover the Reds. You don't have to watch Tiger.
Well, that's
games.
true. That is.
He watches them 6 times a year. That's it when they play. Or
okay, I'll give him that. And that's why I like doing this. What we do, I like covering the entire spectrum of Major League Baseball here. So, yeah. So. You put Minnesota, Chicago, Cleveland, Kansas City, Detroit, and my only difference was I flipped Minnesota and Chicago at 4 and 5. So let's go to the final.
Let's see, though. 4 divisions left. Let's see if we have a division exactly the same. I don't think we will. We'll see.
Okay. AL East. AL East. For me, and this was not. You've said the top was easy and the bottom was easy. This division, for me, was not easy at all.
Not at all.
And I went ahead and put Tampa at the bottom just because of the financial resources that they really don't have as compared to the other 4 teams. And that was honestly the only reason I put them at 5. Who'd you put at 5, Chiefs?
I have them at 5, but I could see them, winning 80 games. I just, who knows? Everything goes right. They don't have a bad team, but this division is absolutely loaded. I'd like to see an expansion, and they have just bigger divisions. I don't like how there's 5 teams in division and all 5 have a chance to make the playoffs. That's brutal. But yeah, 5. I have Tampa Bay.
All right. Now, this may come as a shock to a lot of people. To me, they didn't do anything to improve themselves. And, they're supposed to be the big market guys. They're in the Bronx and they do all of this stuff and yada, yada, yada. I know they made the playoffs last year, but this
they won
division,
94 games.
This division got really good this year, and almost everybody else added, but New York didn't. So I put the Yankees at 4th place in this division. What about you, Cheese?
I have them higher. Well, more on them in a second. Here's another team a lot of people are high on. I'm just not. They went out and they got some free agents, but the Baltimore Orioles, they weren't very good at all last year. I don't know that they're improved enough for me to put them higher. I just have a bad feeling. I don't know if their pitching is going to be all that great. I'm going to say Baltimore 4.
All right. I don't trust Boston's front office, and I'm just going to say it. I would love to get one of our buddies is with us, and I think he and I were going to try to do an extra show. I don't think it's really going to happen. We were going to do our own fantasy show, but I don't think so. We're just too busy as far as that part goes. But I'd love to get his take on this. They've got really good players, and they've got a decent farm system, but I just don't trust their management to put people in the right spots and to put people in the right places. So for me, I put the Boston Red Sox at number 3.
They didn't handle Rafael Devers well. They didn't handle Alex Bregman well. They signed Bregman. They had to trade Devers, and they didn't re-sign. It's been a mess.
Yep, they've been a mess.
I have them 3 as well. They have really good pitching, especially starting pitching. It's good enough where they could potentially make the postseason. So I have them 3rd, but I couldn't put them higher.
All right, so I'll go back here for a second. I'm much higher on the Baltimore Orioles than what you seem to be. Yes, they made some really good trades, and they got out of a couple of contracts, and they're still young. That's the thing. That's what gave me the ability to put them at number 2, because they're young, and they've got a pretty good manager now. I like him, and I just think that they're going to be able to withstand some of the trials and tribulations that are going to come their way. I put Baltimore at number 2, and I do see the comment. I'll get to it here in just a second.
Yeah, so my number 2 is the Yankees. They're still really good. I still look at their team. I get it. They didn't make a lot of additions, but they won 94 games. They tied for first in the division, lost the tiebreak to Blue Jays, but they're still – I could see them winning 94 games again. I mean, they still – and Garrett Cole, I don't think he pitched a lot last year. Could be wrong, but Yankees still number 2. I don't think they're number 1, but I think that I'll just go ahead and say it. Blue Jays should have won the World Series, reigning AL champions, and they, like you said, they added. They didn't just sit tight. Okay, we're a very good team. They added. They got the what's his name? Oh my God, I'm blanking. Pitcher from the Padres, Dylan Cease. They went after and got Dylan Cease. Like rotation was already really good. We're going to improve it. We're going to go to Dylan Cease, who misses a ton of bats. So yeah, I think Blue Jays. I think you have Blue Jays number 1 also, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I saw who they sent down. The people that they sent down are just studs on some other teams. And they're like, no, we don't need you. Nope, we don't need you. We're going to put you in our AAA. We're going to put you in our AAA. And that just means that if something happens to one of their guys that's on the major league roster, that's all they got to do is bring that guy up. And I'm going to tell you, Addison, right fielder for them, Addison Barger, keep his name on the front of your skull. He is going to be a great guy this year. You were saying Wyatt Langford. I'm going to say Addison Barger is going to be my not the MVP, but the guy who could be on a cusp and who could give some of the other guys a run for their money. The comment, by the way, I didn't look at it while I was talking about it, and it's somebody wanting to promote their own stuff. So
don't show it. Okay. Yeah. No, we want questions. You guys will answer questions about baseball, but don't do that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, American League. All right, now National League, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Let's take it the same way we did the American League. So we'll start out west. We got Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Padres, Rockies, and Giants. Who did you put at number 5? That's probably a pretty easy pick.
Yeah, Rockies are by far the worst team. It's not even close.
All right, so yes, the Rockies for me are at number 5 as well. I'm going to go ahead and we'll just breeze past the Rockies pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you who I put at 4 that may surprise some people. I actually put the San Diego Padres at 4. They lost Dylan Cease. They really haven't signed a whole lot else. And here's my main reason, and people are probably going to think this is crazy. I don't like the fact that AJ Preller just moves this roster around all the time. Yeah. He's like the wheeler dealer guy. He's the guy at the gambling table who before you make a move, you look at him first, like, all right, what's this guy doing, right? So I like chemistry, and I like guys that know their roles and stuff like that. And I don't think either of those things exist with the Padres. So I went Rockies and then Padres. Now, there's probably going to be a 20-game difference between those two teams, but Padres are 4 for me.
Interesting. I have them higher, so I'll talk about them in a second.
Okay.
I actually have the Giants 4. I think the Giants could compete for a playoff spot. It's kind of like the AL East. There's 4 teams that could do it. I just don't like them as much as the other 3, so I have the Giants number 4.
I like Buster Posey. Earlier I was talking about a team that in Boston that I didn't trust. I trust Buster Posey. I think he is a baseball guy. I think he knows what he's doing. And I like the subtle additions that they made. The Harrison Bader, batting title, always plays first, but he's going to play second for them because that's what he wanted. Played in the WBC.
Oh, you hadn't told me I could have told. Arraez, Luis Arraez.
Luis Arraez. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Luis Arraez. Yes, I like those 2 pickups. So because of that, I actually put San Francisco at 3. So I've got San Francisco, San Diego, Colorado, and I'll go ahead and tell you the Arizona Diamondbacks for me are number 2. I like this team. They're gonna get Corbin Burns back about halfway through the season, maybe a little bit beforehand. I think he will make a huge difference in that rotation. Their rotation's not terrible as it is. They've got Ketel Marte. They've got Perdomo. You've got Corbin Carroll. So you've got a good centerpiece right there. And I think that with Gabriel Moreno behind the plate, and you're going to see, I think, Alek Thomas make some big strides ahead. So I like the Diamondbacks, even though they have 0 lefties in their bullpen. We talked about that. That does worry me. But I still put the Diamondbacks at number 2. So, all right, Cheese, we know you've got Colorado at 5 and you've got San Francisco at 4. Who are your 2 and 3?
Yeah, Diamondbacks, they could add a lefty. They could make a trade. You never know. We got 2 days.
It's true.
My number 3 is the Padres. You mentioned them. Here's the thing. Yeah, no more Yu Darvish, no more Dylan Cease. So like Joe Musgrove and Michael King. What happens if they don't stay healthy? I couldn't put them higher. I just couldn't because, yeah, I don't. Those guys have had injury issues in the past. So if those guys don't stay healthy, they could be in a little bit of trouble. Number 2, I do have the Diamondbacks as well. Diamondbacks were right in it. Most people don't realize it. Right in it at the end. With a week to go, they had a chance to make the postseason. We talked about it right here on this podcast, and they traded away people. They sold at the deadline. And like you said, they got a bunch of up-and-coming players. Love Corbin Carroll. And I think Zach Gallen's going to pitch much better this year too.
Me
so
too.
Yeah, I have them second.
All right, and as much as I hate to say it, they don't break any rules, but they spend a lot of money, so the Dodgers are going to be number 1.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious they have the best roster in baseball. The Dodgers, number 1.
Yeah. All right, National League Central. I put St. Louis at number 5. It's a rebuilding year for them. They traded away their second baseman. They traded away Nolan Arenado, not that he was doing great with them. And then they've got a bunch of kids, and I just don't think that enough of them are going to be good enough to get them out of that 5 spot.
Like I said earlier, 1 and 5 for most divisions was easy. The Cardinals are going to suck this year. Look at the roster. They are going to suck. And the other 4 are much better, in my opinion.
All right. Speaking of the other 4, I think their luck's going to run out. I saw an article where they were called the Average Joes, and they were managed by the Average Joe manager. And
the pancake in the pocket guy. Yes.
Yes. And if you think about it, that's 100% what they are. How many people out there can name me 5 people on the Milwaukee Brewer roster? You probably can't do it. And there's a reason for that. But they still seem to gel. They still seem to win. I just think now by trading Freddie Peralta and getting rid of Caleb Durbin, their third baseman, even though I do like Jet Williams, the guy they got in return, I just think their luck's going to run out, and I'm putting the Milwaukee Brewers above St. Louis at number 4.
I couldn't put them low. Yeah, this was tough. Like I said, 2, 3, 4 is so tough on these divisions. I'm going to go Pirates at 4. I think the Pirates, just like the A's, I put them at 4. They're a year away. I think 2027, 28, it's going to be their year. I still don't love the lineup for Pittsburgh. The bullpen also scares me a little. So the Pirates, I love some of the young pitching. Paul Skeens amazing. They're going to win most of his starts probably. I just could not put them higher because they still have some flaws, but the future looks bright in Pittsburgh.
I'm going to ask you this. This wasn't pre-planned, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is one of these spot questions that we just kind of come up with while we're doing the show. So you put Oakland in the same spot, you put Pittsburgh in the same spot. Who's going to have the better record, Oakland in the AL or Pittsburgh in the NL?
I'll say Oakland. Oakland, Sacramento. I'll say the Athletics have a little bit better record. Okay. Like I said, I just think the Pirates. I'm looking at the roster when I was, doing research for this, and they have holes. They don't have enough good impact bats. They're going to have games where they lose. They're going to lose a lot of 2-1, 3-2 games, in my opinion. And they traded their closer at the deadline last year. They just, the bullpen is nothing great. You can't just have starting pitching. Yeah, starting pitching is great. But like I said, you're going to lose a lot of 2-1, 3-2 games. So I think Pittsburgh, they're going to win more games than last year. But I think I just see them as like an 80 and 82 type team.
Yeah, they're going to be in a lot of games, but I don't think they're going to win a lot of games. So they need to take another step. And let me tell you, Marcell Ozuna is not the guy to do it with.
No, that was so bad. That was desperate. We need another bat. All the other ones we tried to sign Schwarber. We tried to sign all these other Pete Alonso. We're not going to Pittsburgh. It was a desperate move and way overpaid.
All right, so St. Louis for me is at 5. Milwaukee is at 4. I'm going to put Pittsburgh at 3. We've already discussed them. I'll go ahead and move on. And this is probably where Cheese and I are going to disagree. I'm going to bank here.
I need to go 3. I need to go 3.
Oh, you need to go 3. Go 3, sir. I apologize.
Yeah, we're going to disagree because I have your Cincinnati Reds as my number 3. The Reds are deep. They have a really deep roster. I don't love that Hunter Green is out for half the year.
I don't either.
I don't love that. The starting pitching, if you just look at the ERAs, it doesn't look great on paper, but I think it's a little better than that. But at the same time, God, Hunter Green, man, half the year. That's the thing. I love the lineup, I love the depth. They have 10 or 11 guys that could probably start for most everybody. So I couldn't put them higher than 3. So I have the Cincinnati Reds at 3.
Okay. That's fine. So, like I said, Pittsburgh for me was at 3. We've talked about them a little bit, so we don't need to rehash them. I put Chicago at number 2, and I'll tell you why. I don't like their bullpen, and I don't like the back end of their starters, and I don't trust Justin Steele coming back from injury and being the Justin Steele of 2 years ago. So, because of those 3 things, that's where I put. Do I think they're going to make the playoffs? We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I can't put them in the division, and I still almost did it. And I think Chicago and Cincinnati are going to be the 2 teams that just battle and fight and battle all season long, and I can't wait to watch it because I think this is going to be one of the better rivalries in baseball this upcoming season. Wrigley and Great American Ballpark are going to rock with both these guys and both these teams. I can almost see a brawl or something happening to where we get some kind of epic thing and we talk about it before the season's over. So I'm here for it. I can't wait to watch it.
The Reds and Cubs only fight over umpire call. They only get in brawls over that. I had to put the Brewers too. I could not. Somehow they trade away their best players every year, 1 or 2, and they won 97 games last year. They didn't win 89 to win the West. They won 97 games last year. Insane. So I just cannot put them lower 2. They're not going to drop off to like 82. I don't see that. Are they as good as last year? No, but I have them too. So I still think the Brewers are good enough to be second in the division. The Hunter Green thing was me. That's the 2-3 was tough. The Hunter Green half the year out. That was a tough one for me.
No, I get it. I understand it. And as a Reds guy, I'm gonna now promote my team, right? And that's 100% what I'm doing right now. I'm not gonna lie about it. I think we have one of the better rookies at first base in South Stewart. Matt McLain is batting .541 in spring training with 7 home runs. I know it's spring training, but he's killing everybody else.
Why isn't he over 600? Like, what's up with that?
Yeah, what's up with that, right? He needs to be 600.
Yeah.
Ellie De La Cruz was hurt for the second half of last year and still put up really good numbers. He can put up better numbers this year. You got Ke'Bryan Hayes at third base. Not a great offensive guy, but one of the better defensive replacements if you bring him in at the end of the game. And he'll accompany Suarez, who is just going to smack balls all over the place out of Great American. You've got Friedel in center. You've got 2
balls over the place.
Smacking balls. It's a family show. We better not go there. So I do still like their rotation, even though I have to give you a ton of credit with your Hunter Green comment from earlier. You're spot on. I wish we had Hunter Green. But you got Abbott, the all-star from last year. I don't know if you know this, but Nick Lodolo just got put on the IL for the beginning of the season.
Oh, man, they're counting on him. Oh, man. What about Chase Burns? Is he healthy? Because Chase Burns is healthy. Chase Burns is nasty. Second overall pick. He's an X factor. If he steps it up, then maybe the Hunter Green injury isn't so bad. So
their rotation is going to be Abbott, Singer. Then you're going to go Chase Burns, Lauder, and Brandon Williamson, who's coming back from surgery and looked really good in the spring as well. So I'm crossing my fingers for their rotation. They've got probably and honestly the best bullpen in this division. You've got Pagan at the back end. You got Santillan. You got Ashcraft. You got a bunch of guys. They picked up the hard-throwing lefty from the Angels in the trade, Brock Burke. So you've got 2 lefties. Johnson from the Atlanta Braves is now with the Cincinnati Reds.
That was a good pickup. He's good.
Excuse me. So yes,
Chris Johnson, yeah.
We're going to look like the Royals 11 years ago. I still can't believe it's 11 years, man. To where we're going to try to win everything with our bullpen, and these young starters only have to go 5 quality innings, and the bullpen can pick them up. So I think that's a recipe for wins. And it's just the opposite recipe of your Cubs. Your Cubs have a better starting staff, can go a little further, but I don't know about their bullpen. So
I'm going to
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It's just going to be interesting. I honestly, I can't wait for this division to play out in the National League this year.
So I'm going to completely disagree with you on the Cubs bullpen. I think that's a strength for them. I think it's going to be really, really good bullpen. I think it's deep, and they have 2 very good lefties. I love Phil Maton. I love Hunter Harvey as a 7th, 8th inning guys. Daniel Palencia has looked great in the World Baseball Classic. If he holds up as the closer, then I think it's going to be one of the better bullpens in baseball. The starting rotation is very deep. The fact that Javier Assad was sent down to AAA, it tells you, Jameson Taillon worries me. He was one of their best starters down the stretch last year, played really well in postseason. He has been terrible. And his fastball is 2 mile-an-hour down. That worries me a little, but they have depth there. Ben Brown's looked really good. And Edward Cabrera trade, I think, was huge. I don't think enough people are talking about it. They gave up their best prospect, Owen Casey. Yes. I love Owen Casey so much. And they're probably going to regret it next year because both corner outfielders are free agents. But I think Edward Cabrera was such a good pickup. And like you said, Justin Steele's going to come back. I really, and Cade Horton was one of the best pitchers in the second half last year. I think this is the best Cubs team since maybe like 2017. And do you know they had not won the division since 2017? If you don't count the 50-game 2020 COVID year, they have not won the Central since 2017. I think that changes. I think this is a 95-win team.
Okay. Like I say, I think the National League Central is going to be the best division in baseball this year overall, except for the Cardinals. 4 of the 5 teams are going to be really, really good.
Well, hold on. Best division in baseball. Cardinals are going to be awful. I think the AL East is still better because the Cardinals are going to be stink, man. But, okay.
Okay. We'll see how it all plans out. Let's go to the National League East. I think we can both agree. Well, we may not have them exactly, but Nationals and Mariners are going to be at the bottom. I have the Mariners at the very bottom and the Nationals at 4.
Mariners.
I'm sorry, the Marlins. The Marlins.
Okay.
Yeah, some fish. I don't know.
Yeah, I have Marlins 5th, Nationals 4th. The Marlins traded their 2 best pitchers. They don't even try. They don't even try to win. I just can imagine trying to being a Marlins fan at all every year. You're like, oh, maybe we have a shot. They actually won 79 games last year. They weren't like bad. They were right around 500. And what do they do instead of going for it, signing free agents? The rumor was they're going to spend money. No, we're just going to trade our 2 best pitchers. So, I have them dead last. Like the Marlins are going to stink.
Let's talk about how bad they really are. They had 1 All-Star last year, Kate Stowers, and he's on the IL. So
I forgot about that. Yeah,
I mean, the poor guy, their best player can't even play for him. I think a big thing, and I didn't mention this when I talked about the Rangers, I like Skip Schumacher really well. I think he was a lot of what held that team together, and now he's with Texas. So that's why I kind of boosted Texas too. But that's also why I'm going to drop Florida down. The Nationals, I can at least see a plan. They traded Mackenzie Gore. They got some good pieces back. I can see them building. They've got Woods. They've got
Dylan Cruz, CJ Abrams.
Yeah, I mean, they've got some pieces at least to where I can barely the Florida Marlins traded away Weathers, for God's sake, to the Yankees. And I think that's a trade that not a lot of people are talking about. But, just terrible.
Yeah, and Edward Cabrera for Owen Casey. I mean, yeah, I like the prospect.
Well, at least they got Owen Casey.
At least they did, but at the same time, their starting pitching is going to be bad. It's not going to be a good rotation. 79
Sandy
wins.
Alcantara will be traded before the trade deadline.
Oh, and he was bad last year. There's no guarantee he's going to bounce back. I
think he will. I think a lot of him, just like a dude Steele, and maybe even Corbin Burns. Even though I said I thought he would be better, it's the jury's still out till we see them. When Steele comes back, how good is he going to be? When Corbin Burns comes back, how good is he going to be? Sandy Alcantara wasn't great, but I think this year he'll be much better. and he'll be a commodity that they can get a ton of stuff for. And I think he'll be traded before the trade deadline.
I
But
think I think
go
they
ahead.
shopped him last year, but he had a down year. They weren't getting good offers, so they just like, we'll keep him and then try to get something better. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
you're right.
Nationals. Yeah, I have the Nationals for. Yeah, we just talked about them. So yeah, Marlins Nationals. I think there's a big drop off from the
Absolutely. Here's the interesting part though. Where is 1, 2, and 3? Who do you have at third?
the Atlanta Braves. They don't have. All their pitching is going to be hurt. It's either hurt. Even Spencer Strider hurt as oblique. Joey Wentz was with the fifth starter. He's out for the year. Schwellenbach is hurt. Waldrop is hurt. They're two young pitchers. They literally claimed a guy off waivers from the Yankees who they claimed earlier in the offseason and let him go. Bryce Elder is one of the worst pitchers in baseball. They literally don't have enough starting pitching. And it's if Grant Holmes and Ronaldo Lopez pitch as well as they have the last few years. There's no guarantee. And Chris Sale has to stay healthy, which he's had trouble doing at times. So, and they had a lot of hitters with down years last year. They need to bounce back, like Michael Harris and Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley. Maybe they bounce back? I don't know. I think there's no team in baseball that has a wider range of wins and losses. I mean, they could win 94 games and they could win 71. There's no wider range Atlanta Braves. I don't know how Walt Weiss is going to do as manager. I have no idea what's going to happen with the Braves. I'm very worried. So there's no way I could put them up there with the other two teams.
All right. So I put the Mets at 3 because I don't trust what the Mets are doing. I don't like their pitching staff. They got rid of Pete Alonso.
Okay.
So Francisco Lindor, I've never really liked as far as that part goes. So you got Beatty, who they're counting on, who I'm not sure they can count on. I mean, I don't like. I know they've got Juan Soto, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'll be doing a piece on Juan Soto on my other podcast that we do here on this channel as well. You'll see that in the next few days. But I just don't like this team. I don't like the chemistry. I think they play for the names on the back of their jerseys instead of the team name on the front of the jersey, and that never really bodes well. So I have the Mets at 3. I'll go ahead and tell you I have your Braves at 2, and I have them at 2 because I see some resurgence possibilities. I really think Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to come back. I'll have a spot. I have a bid on him here in the next week or so. I did some research on him. I think Matt Olson's going to come back. I think Austin Riley is going to do much, much better. So I
Drake
like
Baldwin's
that team.
very good.
Baldwin's very good. And Chris Sale is, to me, Chris Sale's the key. He's got to be the guy that holds that pitching staff together.
He's got to stay healthy.
Yes. And if he falters, that team is in trouble. But I also want to say this. They're going to do something at the deadline. And the Braves seem to always be able to do it. They're one of the first teams that strike. They go out, they get what they need, and then they push through to the playoffs. So that's my prediction for them. I've got them in second place, and we'll see what happens.
And Kim, their shortstop's hurt. He fell on ice, supposedly. Jurickson Profar is suspended for steroids. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's been an absolute disastrous last month for the Atlanta Braves. I wish I was as confident as you, but nowhere near. I think there's a big drop off between these top two teams. I'm gonna disagree with you on the Mets.
Okay.
I think the rotation's good. You got Freddie Peralta, David Peterson, Nolan McLean, a really good young rookie with great stuff. Clay Holmes, Cody Senga. I mean, that's a really good rotation. I think that's a strength for the Mets. Losing. No, his name just escaped me, to the Orioles, the first baseman.
Alfonso.
Pete Alonso. Yeah, that hurts, but they want him back, but at their price, because he's a terrible defensive player. But Brett Beatty. Brett Beatty could be a key in their lineup, but I like the Mets, but I don't even have them second. I have the Mets first. I have the Phillies second.
Wow.
I have the Mets actually winning the division because I think getting Freddie Peralta, I think, was big for them, getting that front end guy. So I have the Mets actually winning the division. I think it's close. I was back and forth on that. Philly's still a very good team. I don't think they did a ton to add. If If there's some move they did that I'm just not thinking of, let me know. They are kind of older. I mean, they re-signed Schwarber, but I think getting Nick Castellanos out the building helps. That always just get him the heck out of your locker room.
Yeah. Adolis Garcia, they brought him in from Texas.
They brought him in. I hope maybe maybe he has a bounce back year, but yeah, I like the Phillies. I think the Mets have a potential higher ceiling, and the Phillies have one of the highest floors of any team in baseball. I'll say that. So Phillies 2, Mets I actually have winning the division.
All right, very interesting. I'm surprised that we disagreed that much.
So you had the Phillies number 1.
I do. I have the Phillies number 1. I just like their team. I like Dave Dombrowski. I think if he needs to go make a move, he will. I like their bullpen. I like their starters. There is a couple of things that I don't like about them, but they're kind of, Bryce Harper, I don't know what the relationship is going to be moving forward there with what was said in the offseason. It's either going to spark him and piss him off and make him do well, or it's going to tick him off and he's just going to pout. I don't know which one he's going to get.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you like their lineup after the first 3 guys? Like their 4 through 9, the lineup is just okay to me. I don't see anyone that's like really I'll just say this. The Cubs, for example, the Braves, they have 6 or 7 guys that could be all-stars. I don't see that Phillies lineup being super deep after like Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber and Trey Turner. Like, I don't love the rest of their lineup. I think it's not bad. It's just a bunch of, above average type players. That's the thing that worries me about the Phillies, why I couldn't put them first. But you're right. The starting pitching is terrific. Christopher Sanchez, he's absolute stud.
Right. And they, they just extended him.
Great move for them.
Great move for them. That's right.
They did lose Ranger Suarez
right out of the gate.
And they lost Ranger Suarez. I mentioned that.
Yep. So,
but I just don't necessarily love the back end, especially with their lineup after those first 3 guys. But like I said, I think they have a high floor. I think they're just a good team.
I mean, I'm looking at their lineup right at the moment. I mean, you still got JT Realmuto, you still got Alec Bohm, you still got Bryson Stott, who I was told they were shopping. You've still got Trey Turner, of course, at shortstop.
But I mean, Alec Bohm, JT Realmuto, like league average now. Alec Bohm above average. Like those guys don't they're not going to scare you. Bryson Stott, Adolis Garcia, Brandon Marsh, Justin Crawford, guys like none of them are just. I don't see any of them being all-stars. I think they have 3 really, really good bats, and then everyone's just kind of okay.
Yeah, I'll give you stars and not superstars. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So
okay,
that's why I have them second.
All right. Interesting.
Okay. We're done. Yeah, we're done with division. Oh, now we get to pick awards. Now we get to do some predictions here. Ooh.
AL team that made the playoffs last year that has the best chance of missing the playoffs this year. Cheese, I'll let you go first.
I'm going to use the correct name. I'm going to go Cleveland Indians. Guardians. Cleveland, like I said, I keep waiting for them to make a move. They were good last year. They didn't. I think they were 1 and done in the postseason. I don't see them making it, but you never know, they could, but I don't love their lineup.
All right. Well, based on my predictions from earlier, I have to go New York Yankees. I just don't think they did anything. I think pretty much everyone else in that division did improve themselves, and there's probably only going to be 1 or 2 teams from that division that make it, and I don't think the Yankees are going to do it. What about the National League team? National League team that made the playoffs last year that has the best chance of missing them this year, Cheese?
I'm going to go, because of the starting pitching worries me, with the San Diego Padres. I could see them making it. They have a good team. They have a good lineup, but no Yu Darvish. They lost Dylan Cease, so I'm gonna say San Diego misses it.
Yeah, I'm going to be right there with you, and I'm going to say it for a lot of the same reasons. They've lost pieces that you've already talked about, and You got a team with Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. and all these people that have got to get really big helmets for to put on their heads when they go up to bat. So um, I just don't like this team. I don't like how it's built,
Mhm.
and I think it's their year to falter.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that happen. Like I said, they still have a very talented team, so they could make the playoffs. But yeah, they're one of those teams that you know they have a pretty high ceiling, but they have a low floor. They're kind of the opposite of the Phillies in that way.
All right. So now we're going to move on to the teams that missed the playoffs last year that has the best chance of making it this year. So let's start with the AL. You started last time. I'll take this one. AL team that missed the playoffs last year that has the best chance of making it this year. I'm much higher on this team than you are. The Baltimore Orioles. I think they have a good mix of veteran guys that they got, and they have a good mix of young guys. You got a brand new manager in there, and I like the way this team's built from top to bottom, with the exception of their starting pitching.
I'm going to go with Kansas City Royals. We talked about earlier. Bobby Witt Jr. is just one of the best players in baseball. Like their starting pitching, I think people are sleeping on them. So I do think I think they're a wild card team, second behind the Tigers. So I got the Kansas City Royals.
Okay, and that's a good pick. I like that pick as well. National League team that missed the playoffs last year that has the best chance of making it this year, despite the fact that they don't have a lefty in their bullpen. And we're probably going to talk about that a lot this year. I can't wait to see how that unfolds. But I'm going to put the Arizona Diamondbacks in there. Again, I'm not sure. We know the Rockies are bad. I think the Padres are going to falter. That means really the only other team they really have to jump are the San Francisco Giants, and I think they have a pretty good chance of doing that. So I'll put the Dodgers 1 in that division, and then the Arizona Diamondbacks 2nd and making the playoffs.
I'm going to go with the New York Mets. I have them winning the division, so obviously I'm making the playoffs. They just missed it last year. They did collapse, but like I said, I think they're going to be better this year. I like the Peralta moves. So yeah, give me New York Mets to make the playoffs.
Okay. Let's see. American League division winners and then American League wildcard teams. So, Cheese, who are your 3 division winners in the American League?
Yeah, we'll recap. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll give okay. Yeah. So I have Mariners, Tigers, Yankees. No, excuse me. Mariners, Tigers, Blue Jays. What did I say? Yeah. Mariners, Tigers, Blue Jays.
Yeah, we each have the same division winners. So I have Seattle, Detroit, Toronto as well. What about the wild card teams? I think this is where we're going to differ a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I have Astros, Royals, and Yankees. I know you don't have the Astros or Yankees. So yeah. So I have Mariners, Tigers, correct. Blue Jays, Astros, Royals, Yankees as my 6 American League playoff teams.
Okay, so we'll just do all 6 here. My 6 would be the division is Seattle, Detroit, Toronto, same as you. But my wild card teams, we have Kansas City in there, but I have Baltimore and Texas.
Okay, Rangers. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who all plays out here, and we'll revisit this later on, guys, when it gets closer to the playoffs and we can make fun of each other. So that's the AL division winners and the AL wild card.
I'll definitely say it.
Yeah, I'm sure you will, sir. And then let's go National League division winners and National League wild cards. Who's your division winners, Cheese?
The Dodgers, Cubs, and Mets. I think Dodgers only one we agree on. So Dodgers, Cubs, and Mets are the division winners. My wildcard teams are the Phillies, Brewers, and Reds. So 5 of the same 6 teams as last year. The one difference is I have the Mets in, the Padres out. So pretty close to last year.
All right. See, mine is no. We're not even close here. So I've got Philly, Cincinnati, and LA as far as division winners go. And the wild card teams would be Chicago, Arizona, and San Francisco.
Oh, you have San Francisco. Okay, we have 4 of the same 6 teams. Just okay. You have San Francisco in there. Interesting.
Yeah, I do. I really like Buster Posey. And if you look at it, I've got Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Giants, all from the same division, all 3 going in.
I have Cubs, Brewers, Reds. Again, all making it. So.
All right, so now let's start narrowing this down. American League Championship Series teams. There's only 2. I have Seattle, Toronto. Who do you have coming out of the American League?
I have one of those teams. I have the Mariners also. But I have the Tigers. So I have Mariners, Tigers in the ALCS. And
All right.
NLCS is next. I'll go first this time.
Okay. NLCS, go ahead.
I have the Dodgers and the Phillies as a wild card. I got to pick a wild card team, not a division winner. So I have Phillies, even though they didn't win the division, I have them as a wild card making it. So I have Dodgers and Phillies in the NLCS. That was the NLCS, I believe, 2 years ago.
Yeah, so I've got a matchup of the initial round of the playoffs this past year as the National League Championship teams. I have Cincinnati and Los Angeles making it to represent the National League there.
Yeah, you love these Reds. You love the Reds this year.
I do. I think they're going to do it. I know. I'm crossing my fingers, and I've got my Homer cape on, but we're going to do it. Okay. How about the AL winner? Who's going to win the American League Division, Chiefs?
I'll take the Mariners. I think they're just absolutely loaded. So I'll take Seattle Mariners as the AL winner.
Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. I think Seattle is going to win the AL. I know you're not going to pick my NL winner, so go ahead and tell me who your National League winner is going to be.
I'm gonna take the Dodgers. I hate to do it. I don't want them like any team, but they're just absolutely loaded. I just can't not pick them to win the NL. So I have Dodgers versus Mariners in the World Series. Who's your NL winner?
So I've got Cincinnati. I may as well go all the way, right? So I have Seattle and Cincinnati in the World Series.
The Dodgers in the 7-game series. Okay, yeah, it's possible.
It's a 7-game series, all right. It's a 7-game series. Anything can happen in a 7-game series.
That 3-game series didn't go well last year, but yeah.
No, it did not. It didn't even go 3 games. In fact, I don't think the Reds scored a run in the first 2 games, so that's why they got beat really quick. But I will have to say, and I'm not trying to be like rubbing elbows or anything with anybody, but I was listening to Terry Francona a little bit on one of the spring training games, and he was talking to the reporters down on the field. I was able to get pretty close. And he said, I told them to remember what it felt like to pop champagne in Milwaukee when we got to the playoffs. But I told them to remember how terrible it felt 3 days later when we lost and were just kicked out of the playoffs. So hopefully he can get them to do that.
There's no other professional sports teams that celebrates every little thing. We clinched the wild card. We clinched making playoffs. We clinched the division. We won this series. Like there's so much champagne. Like it's just like, okay, do we really have to celebrate everything? NFL teams don't do that. They're like, okay, cool. Yeah, we won the wild card round. We go to the division round. No, we won the division round. We go,
Yeah, but don't you think it's, it's 162 games. Your NFL guys play 17.
True. It's just I just the celebration, the champagne, all that. It's just like every single time somebody.
Yeah, I will give you it's a little over the top.
A little over the top, and they're like, and then they're given like Mick Ultra or Budweiser, and they have to stand there in the camera holding it. And it's just like no one drinks that because it tastes like shit. No one drinks
that. With the goggles on and everything else, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so I have Seattle, Cincinnati in the World Series with Seattle winning. Cheese, who do you have in the World Series and who's winning?
I have the Dodgers and the Mariners, and I'm picking the Dodgers. I can't not pick the Dodgers. They're the best team in baseball. I hate it. But they're going to win. You know it. There's like a 50% chance right now they're going to win the World Series. I'm counting these 50%. So I'm predicting the Dodgers win the World Series.
Okay, let's go with individual awards.
You happy about that?
Let's go with individual awards. Rookie of the Year in the AL. You wanted me to put 3. I'm not sure about all 3 of these guys, but I went ahead and did 3. Who are your 3 guys?
Yeah, so the reason I want to do 3 is I don't think I've ever seen a better rookie class than this year.
It's true.
Especially in the National League. There's 7 or 8 guys that could have probably won it last year. It was weak last year. It's just it's insane. So that's why I want to do top 3. So my number 3 for American League is Trey Savage of the Blue Jays. I think he's a little hurt right now, but he was so good in the postseason. He did go on the last IL year. Today. He did. Okay.
Yeah.
But even so, I had to put him in the top 3 because he's got great stuff. But pitchers typically don't win it. The voters for that award, for whatever reason, typically favor hitters. So I couldn't put him higher, but I have him 3.
All right. So my 3rd is you need to help me here. Samuel Is it
Basello,
Basallo?
sure.
Yeah,
For
whichever
the
one it is.
Baltimore Orioles, yeah.
Baltimore Orioles guy. Yep, I have him as third, and then your guy Trey Savage, I put him at 2. So
Okay.
we'll see who's your 2, and then we'll do 1.
Carter Jensen of the Royals. I have him number 2.
Oh,
I think he's just an absolute beast, and what a third round pick. You have a third round pick that ends up could be rookie of the year. Just Royals, just they draft really well.
they do.
My number 1
Mm-hmm.
is Kevin McGonigal, the Detroit Tigers, who just made the team. I think he is incredible and one of the best prospects in baseball. And I think I think he's going to win it. It's one of those things that it might not even be close.
It's funny because my number 1 is not on your list, and your number 1 is not on my list.
Oh, okay.
So I believe in a guy really hard, and I think because he plays for a lesser team, it's going to make his stats shine even more as long as he stays healthy. He plays for the Cleveland Guardians. His name's Chase DeLauder. Okay. I like Chase really well. I watched him just absolutely obliviate a ball 2 nights ago in Chase Field. And if he stays healthy, I think he will win Rookie of the Year. So I have DeLauder, Yesavage, and Basallo. Who do you have as 1, 2, 3?
Yeah. Chase probably would have been like 5th or 6th on my if I did longer, if we did top lights out list for that. But yeah, I have Trey Savage, Blue Jays, Carter Jensen, Royals 2, and number 1 Kevin McGonigal for the Tigers. He just obliterated AAA last year, or the minors in general. And he, I honestly was thinking about putting Carter Jensen first, but when I saw McGonigal made the team at spring training, I'm like, he's got a whole year. I think he's going to win it. All right.
So this, again, a program reminder, we're not going to do a top 10 this week. We're going to do one next week, and we're going to do top 10 first basemen. And ladies and gentlemen, we talked about this a little bit before the show went on. This is not easy. And I guarantee you our list will be different because we were doing a little bit of chit chat and
it's a loaded position. We did a couple weeks ago. We did top 10 third baseman, and it wasn't hard. It's not the strongest position right now in baseball, but there's so many good first basemen in baseball. So doing top 10, it's like we were kind of looking at, maybe thought about doing it tonight. It's like, no, we can't. We need more time. This is a lot of research needed. So we will do it for next week. Top 10 first baseman. Okay, so we're going to do Rookie of the Year in the NL. So here's the thing. I wrote down 9 names originally. So the NL is loaded. And I'll just say this. 2 guys that I just think have a great chance I didn't even put. I'll say them at the end. I'll save at the end because I want to surprise you. My number 3, I got to say him. Owen Casey of the Miami Marlins. He was traded for Edward Cabrera from the Cubs. I love Casey. The reason why I think the Cubs included him in the trade, were willing to trade, is he's got a high strikeout rate. He misses, he strikes out too much, but he hits it to all fields. He's got a lot of raw power. He's a good arms. He can play left field. He can play right field. He's got a good arm. He's at least average defensively. Maybe he can get to above average. He's a gap to gap guy. I just love the way he plays, love his energy. And he might hit cleanup in that Miami lineup. He might have a lot of opportunities to pad his stats. So number 3, Owen Casey.
So let me ask you this, Cheese. Do you think they chose Pete Crow Armstrong over Owen Casey? Because you can't have 2 guys that strike out like 25% of the time in your lineup and in the outfield, right?
I don't think that was the factor. They don't have you can have 3 or 4 guys like that, and they don't have many at all. Honestly, after PCA, it's the Cubs' philosophy. PCA is different because of his stolen bases, because of his raw power, because of his defense, elite defense.
Yes.
So, but they like guys that put the ball in play. That is what Jed Hoyer likes. He likes guys that strike out, but less than 20% of the time. Almost everyone in the lineup, if you look at the Cubs lineup, has a low strikeout rate except for PCA. That's just what he likes. And Moises Ballesteros, who they probably could have traded in that trade but kept, has strikes out like 10%, maybe 12% less than Owen Casey, even though Owen Casey is more versatile defensively. Ballesteros just once once just missed this list, by the way. I couldn't put him on here. I wanted to. Because he's a DH also, doesn't really have a position. That's another reason he's not top 3. But I think the Cubs just prefer guys that just put the ball in play and not strike out. I think that's the reason they were willing to move him.
All right, so I'm going to go with my philosophy from earlier of, if Chase Lauder's on not a great team, and I think he's going to shine. This guy is not on a great team either, and I think not only will his offensive stats shine, but I think his defense will really put him apart. So I put him at number 3. Remember the name, J.J. Weatherholt from the St. Louis Cardinals.
He's one of those guys that I remember when he was drafted by the Cardinals, and he was projected to go top 5, fell to 7 for whatever reason. College bats don't usually fall, and the Cardinals are like, okay, we'll take him. Yep. No one else wants to take him. We'll take him. He can absolutely hit. He is one of those guys that can win batting titles. I'll just say that.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2 is Connor Griffin of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, he is not with the team.
No.
If he had made the team out of spring training, I would put him number 1. He's the best prospect in baseball. Consensus. I don't think I've seen a list where he's not number 1 prospect in baseball. He can hit, he can field, he can hit for power, he can hit for average. There's a very good chance the best player in baseball, best hitter in 3 or 4 years is Connor Griffin of the Pirates. I just don't know when they're going to call him up, so I couldn't put him first. So I have him number 2.
I had to put a pitcher in here. I'm not as high on Nolan McLean as what you are. I watched him in the World Baseball Classic. I think he's probably more of a bullpen piece right at the moment than he is a starter. I know you're not going to agree with that, but if you look at 2 of the 3 games in the World Baseball Classic, he pitched 3 really great innings, and then the wheels just kind of fell off. So I would personally put him in the bullpen, but I know the Mets are not.
Yeah, second time through. I'll say this. He struggled he was amazing down the stretch, and he has great stuff. We saw that in that.
We did see that.
He has great stuff. I honestly didn't put him in my top 3. Like I said, I had wrote down 9 National League guys. I love his future. So I get you act like I like him more than you. I didn't even put him in the top 3 here. So
okay, fine, be that way. I haven't seen your list, so.
No, he would have been. I mean, I like I said, I wrote down 9 names for National League, and I hated not putting Moises Ballesteros, but he's probably a DH only. He might catch a little bit for the Cubs. I hated not putting Sal Stewart of the Reds. I just wonder if the Reds are going to. I wonder if they're gonna Spencer Steer, and they have all these guys. They're gonna he's not gonna get enough starts. So I Sal Stewart I put 4th, for example.
The cheese mute button. Where is it again?
So I couldn't. I had Sal Stewart 4th. I couldn't do it. My number 1, you actually just mentioned him. I'm gonna go J.J. Weatherholt of the St. Louis Cardinals. And the reason I'm going to go him is he's going to play every day. He made the team out of spring training. He might hit in the middle of the order. He might hit 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. He's going to get his at bats, and he's got some pop, but he can hit for average. I think he's going to hit. And I just, I love JJ Weatherholt as a prospect and an absolute home run pick for the Cardinals. So I just went with, I went with kind of the safest guy that's going to get the at bats and has a chance to, pad his stats, just like Owen Casey hit in the middle lineup.
Well, I can't believe you said you're going with a guy who is going to get the at-bats, and you didn't put Sal Stewart on this list. Sal Stewart, sir, is going to get his at-bats, trust me. And
well, you heard what I said. They have so many guys, he might sit out some. I'm just saying. I don't know how they're going to use him.
Yeah, it's okay. So I'll give you. They do have, Lowe just made the roster of first baseman. You got Suarez. Steer, first baseman. Sal Stewart, first base, third. Steer can play outfield. Steer can play second. Sal Stewart actually played second base some in spring training this year. So
he can play third too if he needs to.
He can. So I think it's going to be one of those lineups that's, we're going to throw. And where are they going to fall? And you're going to play here and here and here and all that kind of thing. But so for me, it's got Weatherholt as 3, McLean at 2, and then Sal Stewart at 1. Give us your 3 National League Rookies of the Year, sir.
Yeah, I love Sal Stewart. I think he's going to really hit. Like I said, he's 4th. Just didn't make it. My number 3, Owen Casey of the Marlins. 2, Connor Griffin of the Pirates. 1, J.J. Weatherholt of the Cardinals. Once again, all 3 when Griffin's called up, will probably hit in the middle lineup. They'll have more opportunities. That's why I picked them for my top 3.
Okay. So we got a few more of these individual awards left. We're going to do a manager of the year, the platinum glove, the Cy Young, and then we'll save MVP for last. So right now, manager of the year in the American League. Cheese, who's your pick?
Matt Quatraro. God, I hope I said that right. Matt Quatraro of the Kansas City Royals is my manager of the year. Like I said, I think they're going to make the postseason. And yeah, because they didn't make it last year, made this year. The most improved award is basically what it is. That's who gets it. So, yeah.
All right. I like that pick. I think they're a good team, and I do think they're going to make the postseason just like you do. I have the guy from the Texas Rangers coming over, first-year guy. Skip Schumacher is going to be the American League Manager of the Year when the Texas Rangers also make the playoffs.
Okay. Good pick. I like that.
National League.
So this is tough.
Come on. You know you want to. Come on.
Oh, no. I'm not picking who you're picking. I know who you're picking now.
Come on. You know you want to.
Walt, you picked Walt Weiss, didn't you?
I did.
No, you didn't. I'm going to go Pat Murphy. He's won 2 years in a row. He's going to three-peat of the Brewers. They're somehow going to make the postseason again. Pancake in his pocket. He pulls it out during interviews, eats a pancake in his pocket. Pat Murphy somehow is going to win 3 manager year in a row awards because every year they trade away players and they just always seem to be good, and they're going to be good again somehow. So Pat Murphy.
All right. So we're going to go this route. All right. So I'm going to go Terry Francona. Okay. I think I think the Reds are going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to do better than what you think they're going to do. And because of all of that, Terry Francona is going to be the National League Manager of the Year. Let's go platinum glove winners. Go ahead and take the AL, sir. Who is your platinum glove winner in the American League?
I mean, I have the Reds in the playoffs, so it's not like,
Okay.
So I'm going to go probably a little different than where you're going.
Okay.
I think the most underrated defensive player in baseball might be, I'm going to try to say his name right. Ceddanne Rafaela of the Boston Red Sox.
For the Red Sox.
For the Red Sox center fielder. He's incredible. He's just, no one ever talks about him. Maybe because he doesn't have like the impact bat. I don't know. But it was between him and Bobby Witt Jr., but I'm going to go with Ceddanne Rafaela of the Boston Red Sox. He's incredible out there in center field.
All right. I don't mind that pick whatsoever. In fact, I kind of like that pick, to be honest with you. But I'm going to go another superstar, a little more established, from a team that you have seemed to fall in love with here. I'm really surprised you didn't do this. I'm going Bobby Witt Jr. For the Platinum Glove winner in the AL. Premium position at shortstop, a guy who can make all of the plays and make most of them look pretty easy. Bobby Witt Jr., Kansas City Royals, Platinum Gold Glove winner in the American League. How about your National League guy? Who are you going to go with there?
Yeah, Witt won it last year. I was trying to think of something different, and I get it. By the way, if you don't know what the Platinum Gold Glove winner is, it's the best Gold Glove winner, basically, is the best defensive player, regardless of position. And center field's a premium position, too.
It is.
And so I'm picking another center fielder. I'm going to go with Pete Crow Armstrong of the Chicago Cubs. I think Fernando Tatis Jr. winning it last year was an absolute
joke.
He's a very good right fielder, but compared just defensive runs saved, outs above average, come on. I don't know how that he won it. Like even Ke'Bryan Hayes should have won it. Like Nico Hoerner, all of them were better to me at their position than Fernando Tatis Jr. So yeah, this year, come on, Pete Crow Armstrong has to win it. Who you got?
I'm going to do another Cub. I'm going to give it to Nico Hoerner. I think he's the best fielding second baseman, probably the best fielding infielder.
Well, Bobby Witt Jr.
Well, I'm going to say National League, right?
Okay, well, Ke'Bryan Hayes.
I was going to say, I'm thinking about Ke'Bryan Hayes here for a minute, but Nico Hoerner is at least top 3 in the entire infield. and I know this is just a defensive award, but we all know that it's also has to do with his bat too. And since Ke'Bryan Hayes hits like 219, and Nico Hoerner hits higher than that, I'm going to give it to Nico Hoerner.
Yeah, I also consider Mason Wynn, shortstop of the Cardinals, is
Me
also
too.
outstanding. He was one that, yeah, I consider as well.
All right, go ahead and take the last two, sir.
Okay, Cy Young Award winner and MVP. That's all we have left.
Right.
AL Cy Young Award winner. I will go first. I'm going to go Tarek Skubal of the Tigers. What can I say? He's incredible. Won it last year. Unbelievable lefty. I mean, I don't need to say anymore. I think Tarek Skubal is going to win it again. He's just elite stuff.
I'm going to take somebody different. I'm going to pick somebody who may not have the best strikeout to walk, but he's got a really good whip, and he's got a fantastic ERA, and he just
Hunter
doesn't
Brown?
let people. I'm sorry.
Hunter Brown
No.
of the Astros? No, you wouldn't pick an Astro. Sorry,
No, I wouldn't pick an Astro. Stupid space cadets in Houston. Anyway, I'm going to go Seattle, and I'm going to go Brian.
Ooh, wow. Okay, he's very good.
He is very good. Hopefully, he'll get recognized a little more this year than he did last year.
Wow, I kind of like that. I didn't really think about him, to be honest with you. Okay, National League. I'm going to go on a limb here and say Paul Skeens of the Pirates.
Yeah, you went out on a really long limb.
I went on a limb. The best pitcher in baseball. I predicted will win the Cy Young. Yes, his stuff's incredible. He's generational talent. Paul Skeens, #1 overall pick by the Pirates. Is that who you picked?
Yeah, it's who I picked. I would love to have picked Hunter, but he's not going to be there for the full season, so I couldn't do it. Paul Skeens is the guy.
Okay. MVP time. I tell you what, you go first AL, I'll go first NL. Who is your AL MVP?
All right, so my AL MVP, I am going to have a one of my seeing the whole fields, although I might rename the segment. I'm looking at it. We'll see. I'm going to have one of those on this guy in the next 5 to 7 days. I've already got most of it written. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he does, and I hope that in 2026, and the main reason why he's going to win, by the way, is because in a spring training game the other day, he autographed a really nice card for me, and I appreciate it. His name, third baseman for the Cleveland Guardians, Jose Ramirez. Yeah, you saw the picture of the card.
Yes, you sent it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no bias there. Yeah, I've heard he's just like a really great guy, and I love that he's signing autographs because he is just one of the best players in baseball. He's been for like a decade now. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, incredible player. I'm going to go. So, okay. I did want to pick Aaron Judge. Okay.
I'm going to go with the team. I don't want you to pick him either. He's a Yankee.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with the player, the team I've talked up a lot. You mentioned you picked him for the Platinum Board. I'm going to go Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah.
Shortstop Royals. I think he's going to multiple MVPs. As long as the Royals make the playoffs, he's going to be right there. I think he's going to have a monster season. And even though I didn't pick him for Platinum Award, I could absolutely see him winning MVP. So that's my pick. National League. I'm going to go on a limb, just like I did with Cy Young, and go Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Look, he pitches and hits. He's going to win. I hate that. I think it should be separate. I think you should take away the pitching and the hitting. But, the voters don't do that. But if he stays healthy, he's going to win it. I mean, it's just that's what's going to happen. And it's a shame. But, yeah, Shohei Ohtani. And judging by your reaction, you do not have Ohtani.
No, because you should know this already, and most of our fans should know this already. I can't stand him. He's ruining baseball along with the team that he plays for.
He likes to bet a pick, maybe.
Well, yeah, him or someone close to him does. We don't really know, right? I'm gonna go Elly De La Cruz.
Wow.
Partially because I want to win, and partially because that's one of the only people that I think can beat Shohei Ohtani. He's on, him and Ronald Acuna Jr. I almost picked Ronald Acuna Jr., to be honest, because I believe he is going to have a big bounce back year this year. So I went a little safer than Ronald Acuna and decided to go with Elly. So for me, National League MVP, it will not be Shohei Ohtani. It will be Elly De La Cruz.
I hope so. I just don't think the Braves are good enough for Acuna to win. I hope so. I hope it's not Ohtani, but if he stays healthy, I don't see how the voters won't pick him. They just love him for whatever reason. Yeah. So, all right. Is that it?
That's it, man. I know we want to keep going because we want to talk more baseball and we want to get all this stuff out there.
That is it.
Individual awards, team awards, man, we're going to be able to look back on this and probably make fun of each other. And most of this stuff's probably not going to come true for either one of us because that's the way this works for us.
If the Reds have a bad year, yeah, you won't want to look back at this.
No, I will not.
You went big on Reds, Orioles. I went big on Royals and Mets. I think that was the teams we probably differed on. Although I think you like the Royals though, but
I do. I love the Royals. I did a lot of spring training stuff with them this year. I'll shout out Surprise Stadium. That's where they played their spring training games at, along with the Texas Rangers. They did a really good first responder discount, and I got tickets really nice, really cheap, and they really respect us. So I went to a lot of their games too. I went to the Reds games more, but definitely the second place I went was Surprise Stadium. I'll shout them out and give them a good thing for the 4 people who are still listening to this podcast.
I mean, there's more than that.
Yes, there's a lot more than that, actually.
There is.
There really is. I can see the numbers. There's a lot more than that.
There's more than that just on my X. So.
Yes, we've been leading X for the majority of the day, or the majority of the time we've been doing this. So we really appreciate each and every one of you. Cheese, hit us with your socials, buddy. Tell us where they can find you.
At Football Cheese on X, football and then CHEEZ, and Football with Cheese on YouTube. I do at least one video a day during the week for the most part. Usually do about 5 videos a week. As we get closer to draft, I'll do probably one a day. So if you're a big draft fan, big NFL fan, make sure you subscribe at Football with Cheese.
All right, what do you got coming, buddy? What's in the pike for you?
So tomorrow I'm going to go over what's going on with AJ Brown and the Eagles. Is there really a handshake agreement in place with the Patriots, or is there another team? Will he be traded? All of that. That's my video tomorrow. And I did a video today on the Packers. I basically went over I don't think they should pick up their 5th-year option on Lucas Van Ness, the edge rusher, and I go over all the reasons why, and also why I think they will. So that was the video today. But once again, we mentioned earlier, make sure you check out Monday's video, Mock Draft Monday. I went over all the crazy scenarios could happen in the first round of the draft, so make sure you check it out.
Yes, and then I have to do this real fast here. I should have done it earlier in the show, and I apologize to everyone who I was going to do that with and ended up not. Let me get to where I need to on my spot here real fast. We have got a giveaway going on right now. We got a brand new show on All Gloves Off Sports Media. Not only are Ricky and Roger doing the Red Hot Reds, but they are beginning to cover the minor leagues as well. And they're doing that show on Mondays. And we are teaming up with the Hit Machine on X. And he has gifted us an autographed, signed, 1 of 499 Reds prospect card. And you can go over to their spot and see a better picture of it. I told you earlier that I knew how to get certain things on here, but I couldn't figure out how to get the picture over here. So that's totally on me. And then we're going to be doing it for the next month or so. So, we're going to do it until May the 4th, because, May the 4th be with you. And we're going to give it away on that particular day. All you have to do is follow the Hit Machine on his X account, follow the Red Hot Reds on their X account, and that's it. Nothing hard, nothing complicated, and you will be entered into the drawing for that free Reds minor league card. Go over to Red Hot Reds on X. There's a picture of it. There's a picture of it on our X account as well. That is All Gloves Off SM. And then you can go to our YouTube spot and see all kinds of stuff that we've got going on right now, including this show, the 500th video that we put up on YouTube today, the Lights Out Sports Podcast. as far as my stuff goes, I got an individual thing that I do as well. I may rebrand it. I haven't decided. I heard something today I really, really liked. I'll talk to Cheese about it off air and we'll see what's going on. But I'm going to do baseball milestones. You'd be surprised how many players this year can hit different milestones, walks, home runs, strikeouts, and stuff like that. Who's close on these lists? And some of it might surprise you. So I'm going to do, for this week and next week, I'm going to do a bunch of milestones. What players can hit what milestones in the 2026 season of Major League Baseball.
Cool.
All right, buddy. So I think that's a wrap. We got everything done the way we wanted. Appreciate each and every one of you guys for staying with us here on the Lights Out Sports Podcast. We'll be here next Tuesday, same time, same place, same sexy hosts. Well, at least one. And anything that sexy host wants to put at the end?
No, I'm just looking forward to opening day. I think, there's a Netflix game tomorrow, but But no, baseball's starting. It's very exciting time, and NFL draft, baseball. Yeah, love the spring in sports. Great time to be a sports fan. And
right, we will have a big NFL draft special in about 3 weeks or so. So be watching for that. We'll give exact dates soon.
29 days to the NFL draft.
Yes.
It'll be the longest 29 days of the year for me, at least.
All right, buddy. Sounds good. Hey, thank you for coming on with us. And thank each and every one of you for joining us right here on the Red Hot Reds. Nope, the Lights Out Sports Podcast.
Red Hot Reds. Oh,
Red Hot Reds. What? All the baseball's on fire in the background. And I'm just, I'm warming up to it. I'm putting my hands up here. Ooh, okay. Well, I'm not cold in Arizona. We all know that. But.
Nope.
No, sir. All right, guys. Thank you all very much. Appreciate you. And as always, the thing we end every one of these podcasts with, the only thing that's fair in life is a baseball hit between the third and first base lines. Good evening, everyone.